Good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Breaking Titans news. It's been reported multiple times now that the Titans are planning to hire Chiefs assistant general manager Mike Borgonzi to become the next general manager in Tennessee. The two sides are still working on a contract as Borgonzi has not accepted or countered the Titans' offer. However, the team has already let other candidates know of their decision. Borgonzi spent 16 years in Kansas City and played a key role in constructing the Chiefs' 3 Super Bowl winning rosters. This weekend, the NFL playoffs continue with the divisional round. On Saturday, it's the Chiefs hosting the Texans at 3:30 and the Lions hosting the Commanders at 7. On Sunday, the Eagles host the Rams at 2 o'clock, while an MVP matchup between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson happens as the Bills and the Ravens face off at 5:30. This weekend in SEC hoops, number 8 Kentucky, number 4 Alabama face off at 11. Number 23 Georgia hosts the top-ranked Auburn Tigers at noon, and number 6 Tennessee heads to Nashville to face Vanderbilt at 2:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home of the Titans and Bulls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three at John 104.5 The Zone Friday edition. You did it, people. Let's go. Party people in the house. Right, Babsy?
That's right.
She disappeared. She's wearing green today. Is that for
Money.
money? I get you.
Money Fridays.
Money that none of us have.
Absolutely. But we will someday get.
You flying out tonight?
I'm flying out right now. Mentally.
Oh, good.
No, I'm here.
I mean, Wednesday, you were like, I'm so tired. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Hey, Wednesday, dog. I'm telling y'all right now. Only because the man upstairs was I able to make it through on that show on Wednesday. Matter of fact, make it through the entire day. Driving, taking the car back, going home.
I didn't even think about the possibility that you drove from Auburn to Nashville that day. I thought you just flew out of Atlanta. Because I asked you, I was like, how do you get to Auburn? You fly into Atlanta? And you're like, yeah, but I drove. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the time.
I said, how long did that take? Like 4 hours? You're like 4.5, something like that.
Yeah. Rolling, baby. Rolling.
Rolling.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
Titans had a general manager, and it was the guy that everybody was like, they're not going to get this guy. Like, this is the best guy. They're not going to get this guy.
Yeah, like, why?
Mike Borgonzi.
I'm surprised.
Me too. I'm trying to figure out why.
I don't know, but his name is
Why he said yes?
Yeah, what is he coming to do?
This is all allegedly. Supposedly it's not done yet. But
well, in our eyes.
I heard a little while ago that one of the things, because I don't know Chad Brinker. Like, I haven't met him.
Yeah, none of us do.
Maybe I have. I don't know. But I don't think I have. And one of the things I heard about him was several different things, but one of them was that people want to work with him.
Collaboration.
Ugh.
It's back.
It's back, Babsy.
You can't run from it, Babsy. It's like The Exorcist.
Oh, jeez.
I guess.
Head spinning around on shoulders. That's where you go?
That's where I was this season. Head just spinning around on shoulders.
Well, so it's Mike Borgonzi, which his name, like, immediately I started thinking about Nate Bargatze, and I thought, man, Nate Bargatze would be a really good general manager. You bring Nate Bargatze and Jameis Winston in, you got pure comedy over there.
That's all you are out here for. You signing up for that every single time.
Just want to laugh every day.
Yeah, you standing in line for that every single time.
I mean, Nate grew up here. He's a big Titans fan. He could have done the job, maybe.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to find the thing that I heard.
So
here it is. Field Yates. Field Yates wrote this. This was Tuesday. Field Yates wrote this on Twitter. I think you would be hard-pressed to find a more qualified GM candidate right now than Mike Borgonzi.
Borgonzi.
Yeah.
Borgonzi.
Oh.
Why do they always do that?
Oh,
like
no.
long vowel sounds like 90s rockers.
Oh, no.
Hey, I, oh, you. He's been involved in every facet of team building for a team that has won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years with a shot at a 4th on tap. Chiefs have done incredible work in the draft and nailed some key free agents and trades. The assistant GM plays a huge role in all aspects of team building. Mike Borgonzi.
There you go.
Borgonzi.
I feel like we should go to eat pasta with him.
Yeah, pizza.
Yes.
So there you go. Are you guys affected by this? I listen, all I know.
I'm affected by it.
I am too. All I know is what I read. And what I read from the NFL people is that this guy was the best guy on the list and that they didn't think that he would go here. And look what happened.
Yes and yes.
So
I thought there's no way.
Salud, Chad Brinker.
Hey, salud.
Salud. I thought that he would not come here because he is currently the assistant GM for the Kansas City Chiefs, who have a quarterback, who have pieces, who make Super Bowl runs every single year. And
seems like it would be fun, right?
Yes. And minus the fact that you live in Kansas City. But
they think they have good barbecue there.
They do think that.
Mm-hmm. Notice how we phrase that.
And then they come here.
Now, I will say, what's the barbecue joint that we went to? That was incredible.
In Texas.
No,
in Kansas City.
The one in Kansas City. You weren't with us.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Because they had the burnt tips.
It's the same place
that Mickey loved.
That at some point, Patrick Mahomes and Brittany had been in there.
And paid for everybody's meal.
And Patrick Mahomes paid for everybody's meal, didn't tell anybody, and left. And then they announced it after he left. All food on Pat Mahomes.
What was the name?
Good. What was the name of that place? It's like the famous place
really
in Kansas City. It was really
good.
Anyway.
Borgonzi. Anyway, so the reason I'm surprised is because he is currently the assistant GM for the Kansas City Chiefs. And we have talked a lot about the job description for this GM position for the Titans. Yes, it's a step up because it is a GM position. But at the end of the day, all the press releases that Miss Amy and the organization put out said Chad Brinker has hand. Chad Brinker has final decision.
Right. And
now, are we reading too much into that?
Or did it change a little bit?
He has if you have a chance
to get a guy
like Did they sell this guy
like, hey,
Borgonzi.
if I'm Chad Brinker, I'm like, look, man, I've got roster control. Hell yeah, I'm ready to roll. But I need a right-hand man. I need you right here.
I need an assistant GM.
Right.
It's
so,
a GM,
which is why I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Also surprised by all of the interest, allegedly, from people we've talked to.
Hold on.
Outside.
This is blasphemy right here. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
YouTube. Crab Core King. Nashville barbecue is terrible. Kansas City barbecue is the best. Memphis is decent.
Oh, yeah.
You got that all backwards.
Yeah. That's somebody just trying to poke the bear. The bear sleep. Let the bear sleep, y'all.
Memphis is decent.
Yeah, that's how you know they don't even.
I mean, take Nashville out of it.
You were better off saying Nashville is decent and Memphis is great. Yeah, come on, dog.
And Kansas City's all right.
Come on, dog.
No.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
And then Carolina with that vinegar-based stuff.
Yeah, come on.
That can stay out there.
Like, that's horrific.
They think it's great.
It is for them. Mm-hmm. They love it. But, nah.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know what the tang. Maybe they just like tang.
You know what?
This is going to be a hell of a show. I can already tell.
Borgonzi.
When in doubt, say that. 615-737-1045 if you want in. How does this affect you? Matthew in Franklin has a joke for Slay. Let's start with that. Matthew, what's up?
Oh, this is going to be good.
Good afternoon, my dear friends. Mr. Slay, I love you. I love this. Y'all are my favorite show, hands down.
Oh, thank you.
And I've got a comparison. Coming Monday, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Tennessee Vols will have one thing in common.
What's that?
We're going to be playing for the Natty, and y'all going to be home drinking up Natties.
Wow.
Thank you, Matthew.
Well,
Trash Talk Friday, baby.
Yeah, I mean, welcome on in.
Catching strays.
Hey, listen, man, we focused on a season that y'all can't never get ready for. That's basketball. So we appreciate you.
Fair.
They were good when they had David Rivers. Remember him?
Yeah, I mean.
With the big fro?
Yeah.
Little dude, man. He'd get anywhere on the floor.
Yes. Well, he can still get anywhere on the floor.
I don't even know what he's doing.
Probably on the floor. Get up.
Usually when we bring up a guy like this.
I don't even want to play that game
dead.
with you. Yeah, that's why I let you want to play that game.
Yeah.
I don't want to play that
I'm not
game.
trying to play the game. I'm just
Play it.
No, it happens every time.
Yeah, every single time.
David Rivers basketball.
Nah. Leave him alive, Yoro.
Nope, just leave him alive.
Yeah.
We don't want to know.
Yeah, like, just leave him alive, dog.
I think he's alive.
All right.
Oh, well, this is not
that's
going
a
to.
first.
Yeah, he's 59 years old. Let's go,
Boom.
David
Yeah,
Rivers.
just because that's his age. You know he's alive?
He's alive.
Okay.
Yeah, he was point guard.
All right.
Play for the Lakers, too.
Yeah, that'll work.
615-737-1045. Cody in Lebanon.
Yes.
Cody, what's up?
Hey, do you guys think that allegedly Borgonzi took this job thinking with the mindset of, hey, I know one of these quarterbacks is a guy that I can build with, just like they did in Kansas City. Like maybe he believes in one of the two, and he thinks that he can restart something that they got in Kansas City.
I think you're onto
Yeah.
something, Cody. My
Absolutely,
experience,
maybe.
based on being around these kinds of dudes, is they're playing chess. They're thinking 2 moves ahead. So
No doubt.
he's not just taking this job like, oh, hey, there's the facility. Let's go.
He's not looking at this job thinking, oh, there's no quarterback and none of these prospects are going to be the guys. There's no way anybody takes this GM job without thinking that they will be able to get their quarterback. Because you can't succeed in this league as a coach, as a GM, as an owner if you don't have a quarterback. So, Cody, great point.
Mm-hmm. Dewey Cheatham and Howe said, is it Arthur Bryant's?
No.
Although I think we did. I think we did eat
I think
there,
we did eat there, but that was not it.
Hey, real quick, I want to run these teams that David Rivers played for by you professionally. First round pick of the Lakers, then the Clippers, then Tulsa Fast Breakers, Memphis Rockers, Los Angeles Clippers, Lacrosse Catbirds, and then here we go overseas.
They went ABA now.
Olympique
CBA.
Antibes. You heard of them? That was 1993-95.
What country, though?
Travis Harder. Olympique, maybe Greece. Then Olympiacos.
Everybody
Greece.
keeps saying Arthur Bryant's. That must be it.
That must be
Who
it.
is he?
Go ahead.
Fortudo Bologna.
Yeah, that's my spot. Fortitudo.
Bologna. You know that.
Yeah. I used to call it bologna.
You think Borgonzi was there?
Yeah, most
Think so?
definitely.
Tofas.
Yep. Turkey. That's Turkey right there.
Olympiacos again. Olympique
Greece.
Antibes again.
And Tebas, I think that's Greece too, I think.
And then he became a coach at Kennesaw State.
He had a good. Oh, that means he was with Abdul Rahim, I think.
2014, 2015.
Yep. He was with Abdul Rahim. They was putting it together.
He was 4-time FIBA Eurostar.
No, he had a good career.
Eurostar MVP.
Is that KC Rivers?
No.
Okay.
2-time Greek League champion, Greek Cup winner.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
a real
I
hooper.
don't care.
Yeah, I knew that was coming at some point.
615-737-1045.
I tried to go away from him, Babs. He wouldn't leave.
I'm you know me. I'm interested in this stuff. Luke in Nashville. Luke, what's up?
Hey, so I agree. I think we were looking too much into that statement about Brinker having final say, and this is why I think that, because obviously the NFL came in and investigated the role and said, yeah, it is a GM position, but if you recall, Brinker said something like he would hope to never have to use that authority or very seldom. I think it's like a nuclear option to prevent something from like an A.J. Brown situation happening again. And I'm totally serious.
Or maybe even a Will Levis.
A nuclear option. I love that.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I say that is because obviously I'm shocked that we got this guy, and he's the most qualified. He's helped build an incredible roster. And, yeah, they got Mahomes, but they're finding guys late rounds like Snead and McDuffie and Pacheco that are just studs. So he knows how to build a roster. So I think they sat down and really explained the role that this is a full GM job with power and authority, but Brinker may have that option just so, they don't get fleeced again with something crazy.
Thank you, Luke.
I'm excited.
They do need to have, some sort of conversation flow chart to make sure weird things don't happen, right?
You know what my question is?
What's your
What?
question?
Why do you believe that?
Believe what?
That, like, he's coming in to take over that position. And we looking too much into it.
Let's talk about it when we come back. Also, Mel Kiper's top 10 2025 NFL draft quarterbacks. New list today. We've got it for you next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? It's Big Say. Now, BrentwoodJewelry.com is where you need to head over to. I promise you, they got so many deals for you. It's been exceptional styles, exceptional deals every single day for over 50 years. It's been so good. It's going to continue to be good to you. 7012 Church Street East, located right there in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road, people. For over 50 years, like I told you, they've been making it happen. Now, whether you want to get a new watch for anyone, not just a specific special someone, but hey, if you just want to donate a watch to somebody like me, go into Brentwood Jewelry, and I promise you, man, they got real Rolexes, pre-owned Rolexes. You can't go wrong. Hamiltons, all kind of good watches. And trust and believe, those special pieces that you want to get done over and you want to get them refurbished or just some customized pieces, they take care of that too. Brentwood Jewelry always delivers. They can deliver to you. BrentwoodJewelry.com, one click away. Go check them out or get in there and get some exceptional deals and style for 50 years. It'll keep going.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. Lady Vols won the Wee Backpack game last night, 86-73 over Mississippi State.
Yes.
Lady Vols are 15-2. Their only 2 losses came to 2 top 10 teams by a combined 3 points. Lady Vols play Vanderbilt in Nashville on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Vanderbilt is 14-4, but they've lost 3 in a row. So the Vols play Vandy on Saturday. The Lady Vols play Vandy on Sunday.
Yep, both should be good games. Although the Vandy women haven't been playing quite as well as they were.
Right.
But still be a good game.
Right. They were 14-1, and they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
You get into conference play, it gets a little tougher.
They're a little different.
Obviously. Preds beat the Blackhawks last night 3-2 in a shootout. Preds have won 2 in a row, 4 out of 6. They host Minnesota Saturday at 6. Coming up today on the show, guest-wise, Mark Mariani, former Titan Pro Bowler, at 3:45. Greg Cosell, NFL matchup, NFL films at 4:20. He's going to get an early breakdown for you of Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders.
Yes.
What does he see on tape? And then we'll take a look at all 4 divisional playoff games. That's at 4:20. Danny Cannell, former Florida State and NFL quarterback, at 5 o'clock. Thanks to our friends at Bet Online. He'll talk about the national championship game.
Well, he's supposed to be out of the playoffs and all that, according to him, and that big old beautiful scenery behind him.
Oh, yeah, his flex where he put the video out that
I can't wait to ask him.
I didn't see that.
quit.
Yeah.
He's on like this boat, beautiful in the background.
Like
I'm
Tannehill?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or T-Pain?
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
I'm on a
Go there
boat.
first.
Yep.
I'm going to get to Mel Kiper, top 10 2025 NFL draft quarterbacks. He's got an updated list today, but let me hit you with this. The betting favorites to go 1 through 5 per FanDuel.
Okay.
Betting favorites. Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks Jr. tied for 5th. 4th, your boy, Abdul Carter, edge rusher, Penn State. Odds are he goes 4th. Travis Hunter, 3rd. Cornerback, wide receiver, Colorado. And then the 2 quarterbacks. Number 2, Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado, which means Cam Ward is the betting favorite to go number 1 overall in the 2025 NFL draft.
I don't want people to think I don't like Abdul Carter. I just don't want him here. Because we have more, it's that's the last. It's not the last. First of all, it's not the last thing we need.
No,
It's probably like the third
it's a
thing that we
need.
need.
Right,
Yeah.
but we've got 1 year of edge rusher.
Yeah, come on, man. Give me a QB. Or give
Trade
me
back.
Trade back.
What if they trade back and get Abdul Carter?
How far back? And
4.
how many picks? What they get? 2 if they get and that and another first round?
Depends on the haul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you trade back at all, you're getting another first round next year. So you'll have 2 first rounds next year.
Otherwise, you're not doing it.
Otherwise, you're not doing
And
it.
we need to go find a second.
And there will be more picks.
Give us a second too. And we got something. That'll make up for that third that we missing.
All right, Pat Ryan. Mel Kiper's top 10 2025 NFL quarterbacks updated today. Number 10, Dylan Gabriel, Oregon. 10th.
Wow.
10th.
I didn't think it'd be 10th.
Number 9, Tyler Schau, Louisville. Is that how you say his name?
I didn't even bet on them this year.
That is
You did-
not how you say it.
You didn't see them this year, so I can't
I
lean on you.
did see them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, one of the games,
I
didn't
remember. Yeah, I had one.
Remember, she flew instead of driving when we were 2 hours away?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
We were in Clarksville. She drove back to Nashville to fly to Louisville.
That was dope. Like it, Babs.
And I
That-
met with him.
Oh.
And I actually really liked him.
It's Shough.
UGH.
Show?
Nope.
Shao?
Shof.
I thought it was
Shoff?
something like Shuck. Can't remember.
Sure shucks.
Can't remember. That was early in the season. Clearly, my brain does not work. Oh, you know what my excuse is? My memory
Oh, yeah,
stinks
you
because I got
slipped.
a cyst in my brain.
Ryan says, oh, yeah, okay, well.
But I remember really liking him. He was all ball, like in the building at 4 a.m., studying, getting guys to watch film with him. He's great work ethic.
Ryan says it's Show.
That's
There you
the
go.
8th.
That is 9th.
So Gabriel, then him.
All right, Gabriel 10.
Tyler Show, Louisville 9. Number 8, Curtis Rourke, Indiana.
/ James Madison.
Yeah. So the
Do you know
quarterback
what's
class,
really funny?
like the 8th quarterback could be like in the 6th round
Yeah.
in this group.
True.
Kirk Cignetti, the year I worked that James Madison game, was so harsh about Curtis Rourke. Like, harsh in our players' meetings.
Really?
Good.
Yes. That's why when he transferred there, I was shocked.
Harsh on the players?
Yeah, harsh on
him.
him.
Oh, him. Okay. Damn, didn't I just...
About some of the
Curtis Rourke.
decisions he made, some of the stuff he did. I was like, God, I feel like he hates his quarterback.
Now, Bud says the Louisville quarterback's last name rhymes with tough. So that would be Shuff. I don't know.
I wish I had my board with me. So I could
James on YouTube, trade back, sign Aaron Rodgers as our bridge quarterback.
Ooh.
Are you surprised there's this much love for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah,
Yes.
I am.
But
I'm fascinated.
how many
No,
yards
but-
did he throw for this year?
Almost 4,000.
I mean,
How much of a team did he ruin this year?
They had 4 wins.
An entire one.
They had one more. They had 25% more wins than the Titans.
Not just his side of the ball. He ruined the both sides. Like he did a great job.
Well, I mean,
And then walked away and said, maybe I'll be back.
but that's also a disastrous franchise on top of it.
It is, but it was better than it was when he got there. So to add a Hall of
It
Famer
was
and then go
better-
downhill?
It was better before he got there, you mean?
Yes.
I mean, even with that carousel of quarterbacks last year.
Yes. Like, remember him and Zach Wilson had thrown for about the same.
Yeah.
It's like what did they win the year before? 3 games or 4 games?
Somewhere in there.
Might have been more than that. Let me go look.
They
I'm
suck.
telling you, bingo. That's all I'm saying.
They have sucked.
And he had management control.
Number
know
7.
that
They
They
won
haven't-
7 games in
The year before.
2023.
They haven't been. When's the last time they've been to the playoffs? It's been like 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been like 20 years.
thought he was
Like
gonna
Bob
fool us by running out with the
Wissusen
flag.
has been the voice of them this entire time and has never called a playoff game.
Keep that man away from here, y'all.
20 years, y'all. I
I'm
mean,
telling
you think it's frustrating to be a Titans fan? Holy moly.
Mole donut shop. I tell you what, bring him down here and watch where we go. If you think we're in a hole now,
Watch where we go.
oh yeah.
I mean,
2010.
it'd be like a year.
I'm gonna get away
All right, what number are we
for
on?
that year.
2010, they lost the AFC Championship game at Pittsburgh 24-19.
Okay, so
That was Rex
Not
Ryan
quite.
too, wasn't it? I think that was Rex.
15 years.
15 years, not quite.
Rex Ryan.
I was
Sexy
close.
Rex.
Ain't been back since Sexy Rex. We call him Zeph.
I
You got his number.
just saw him. He's at the golf club today.
See?
Call who?
You just
Ryan.
literally just saw him. I was going to be like, he lives in Nashville.
Didn't he interview to become the Jets then?
Yes.
Yes.
They
You
let
don't
him
want to
down.
do that. What's he doing?
He also said the
Dude, you
Chargers
live
had
here, you play golf, you hang out, you drink some beer,
you do some TV.
you do a little TV here and there, you fly back and forth. Like, your life is good. What are you doing?
Yeah, Sexy Rexy, come on the
on,
show today.
come on,
615-737-1045. Jim Nance's line is occupied, but you can have your own line when you call in. Sexy Rexy. Yeah, 15 years for the Jets.
Didn't he threaten to fight Mike Vrabel after he got hired? Or that's how he put it. He said he was going to
I don't know. He recently said the Chargers had a bye week by playing at Houston. Remember that?
I think when Mike Vrabel got hired by the
Is
Patriots.
that this year?
Yeah.
When Mike,
Because Joe Mixon had something to say about it after the game.
Rex Ryan crazy.
when Mike Vrabel got hired by the
I love
Patriots,
him.
he was on
I do
TV
too.
and he's like, I'm gonna beat the hell out of Mike Vrabel 2 times a year. And then he was like, oh wait, I meant like as a coach to coach, not actually beat the hell out of Mike Vrabel.
Number 7, Mel Kiper's top 10 2025 NFL draft quarterbacks. Number 7, Kyle McCord, Syracuse. You did see him.
I did.
You saw him beat Miami.
I liked him, but I mean, he's a 4th or 5th rounder.
Yeah, so
I would put him
in a good
as a
spot there
fourth rounder.
as the 7th best guy.
Yeah.
Number 6, Will Howard, your boy from Ohio State.
I don't know what to think about him.
Watch what happens if they win when they win the national title. I think Ohio State's going to win.
Listen, Notre Dame
Minus the points, too.
says, hold on. Not hold my beer, but hold on.
Something,
All right.
something happened
5.
to Ohio State against Michigan, man.
Yeah.
Now they're just double-digit in everybody. I mean, everybody. They're on a roll. Number 5, Quinn Ewers, Texas.
Nope.
Yeah, you ain't named nobody that I'm interested in.
Nope.
Shit.
Number
I
4.
actually just went back over my notes.
Number 4, Jalen Milroe,
Bye.
Alabama.
I'm intrigued by him.
Mid-round guy?
Not interested, yeah. More intrigued. Like, I would love to be able to sit on a log and watch him and be like, oh, okay.
Can't you see, like, if he goes in the fourth, let's say he goes in the fourth round.
2 years.
The draft experts will be like, that's a great value pick.
Mm-hmm.
Let him sit over here and develop. And, yeah. Great athlete.
Yeah.
Fastest guy on the field.
Guaranteed. Sometimes.
Number 4. Yesterday we were talking about who do you think is the third best quarterback in the draft? Mel Kiper's got at number 3, Jackson Dart, Ole Miss.
That goes right on par for what he was talking about.
Which is what I said yesterday.
Will
and Bab said
one.
she was going to smack me in the face if I said Jackson Dart third.
I don't agree. Here's my Ewers note. Left almost every single deep pass too short, not putting his receivers in a position to win. Base is an issue, like Cosell said.
That's why his passes are short.
Always looked off balance and cannot
deliver the ball.
Something around that. I can't read my writing. I can't read my writing.
I can't ever read your writing.
Like
I don't know what's going on with your writing.
Going to the sideline and stuff, like it's like he's trying to put touch on it. But if it's off balance,
like he can't hit. Yeah, he's not precise.
I'm cool on him, yeah.
Because of that.
I'm almost up. If that's... Don't give me Abdul Carter before him, too.
Cosell said it's hard to identify like what kind of arm strength, arm talent Quinn Ewers has because he never sets up.
Because he's always off balance.
Off balance. Even when he doesn't have to be.
Because his footwork's not good, yeah.
Number 2, Cam Ward. Number 1, Shedeur Sanders, according to Mel Kiper.
There you go.
615-737-1045. Stephen in Lebanon. Stephen, what's up?
Oh, nothing, man. Just hearing all this Aaron Rodgers love, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe they got him mixed up with the GOAT, Tom Brady, because once you hit 41, it's kind of hard to, even bend down, nonetheless play football. But Cam Ward is right there.
He's only 38. But yes.
38's a little better because I'm 37 and I'm one of the best athletes around, only behind D-Ron Slay.
That's my guy.
Cam Ward is the guy for the Titans. Mel Kiper can say, Sanders. Hey, we'll trade Sanders to the Browns and drop back one spot and then take our guy Cam Ward. It's easy, Titans. It's easy. Just take him and let's enjoy it. Let's lay back, relax, and watch them shred them up. Thanks, guys. Love the show. Big Ron Slay. What's up, big dog?
What's happening, big baby?
I love you, dude. I love you, bro. Thank you, buddy.
My man.
Thanks, Steven.
Steven's the best.
It's easy. Don't screw it up.
That's all.
He can play some ball.
That's all.
Cam Ward.
Just look. Yeah. Or Travis.
No, Steven.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know? Do you know him?
Yeah.
Travis Hunter.
What about Travis Hunter?
Why is nobody talking about him?
Blaine was talking about him today as
I feel like
a wide receiver.
Okay, maybe I've been honest. Yeah. I ain't been tuned in. Okay.
Blaine said, because remember Kevin Dyson said his routes aren't good, that he views him as a cornerback with a package at wide receiver.
His routes aren't precise because he doesn't have to be.
Blaine went the other way and said, I don't want to see him play DB. Maybe as like the 5th or 6th guy, but I want to see him play wide receiver.
Well, because he also thought watching him that he was a little... He used the word lazy as a cornerback. I know what he was saying.
He has athletic ability, so he can lean on it.
Yep, so he can lean on it in college. That comes back to bite you once you get to the pros.
So that's interesting. 2 guys that played the position, we want to see them play the other position.
The other position, yeah.
615-737-1045.
I think the reason you feel like that about Travis Hunter is because we're in a market that needs a quarterback, and so we are so heavily... quarterback talk because of it.
Yeah, I got you.
I think that's part of it.
Thank you for that, Betsy.
So let me pull up the odds on the top of the draft if I can. Nope, I'm going to have to look for it. 615-737-1045. In the meantime,
in between that.
Peace, Brandon, Nashville. Brandon, what's up?
Yeah, man, I was just y'all are talking about quarterbacks. Why not trying to get the hometown boy Pavia? He's a winner.
You're going back to school, though.
He's going back, man.
No, man, I just looked it up on Google to make sure I didn't sound stupid on here.
No, he won an appeal in court.
Man, I'm holding out for him, man.
I like that.
He might die in the NFL.
Come on, dude. Get a line. Draft your line all the way got to get a right tackle, dude.
He might die.
Got to get a right
And
tackle
a right guard.
Pavia is like
and a right guard.
smaller than me. There's
Sorry,
no
I'm buying my
way.
beer at the gas station.
Oh, okay. What kind? What's your brand?
IPA, Sweetwater, man.
Oh, you're
Okay,
fancy.
sweet. That's Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Sweetwater.
Oh, yeah. Sweetwater, yes, sir.
All right.
All right,
Thank you, Brandon.
Brandon.
Appreciate it.
Brandon's a little fancy.
Today, baby.
So here are the
Talk
odds
about
according to
Sweetwater.
according to FanDuel. Cam Ward is minus 170 favorite. Shador Sanders is plus 135. So Cam Ward is a big favorite to go number one right now. Travis Hunter is plus 1,100 to go number one.
He's a plus 1,100 to go no more?
Yep. Abdul Carter plus 1,800. So Cam Ward, the prohibited favorite to go number one overall at minus 170. Shador Sanders, again, plus 135.
I said that.
Zeph, you got something?
Yeah, so Brandon talked about how the Titans need to get a line and get an
IPAs.
O-line.
Yeah.
And one of the parts on the O-line is the right guard, like Slay brought up. And right guard that has connection to the new Titans general manager, going to be a free agent this year, Trey Smith.
I'm still mad they didn't draft him. We all knew what that dude was.
They did too. That's why they drafted him.
Who'd he take? Racing McMath.
Racing McMath and then Brady Breeze.
You took those two
Brady
guys.
Breeze.
We interviewed both of them too.
Yeah, we did.
That was also the same year that you traded up for Des Fitzpatrick in the fourth.
Was
We don't want to remember that.
was Brady Breeze the guy that was from Hawaii that had the cornrow mullet?
No, that was the quarterback.
The
wasn't it?
quarterback, yeah.
No, Brady Breeze was the safety from Oregon.
Oregon,
Yeah, there you go. Who was the quarterback from Hawaii that had the...
Cole
had him on-
McDonald.
Had a phone.
Cole McDonald.
Mark Mariani coming up next. We'll talk about
seventh
the...
round quarterback picks.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of seventh rounders, Mark
Mark
Mariani
Mariani.
next. Talking about the 4 big games coming up this weekend.
I just passed along Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville's number to some of my neighbors because they're the best. They're looking for windows to screen in their porch. And if you are looking for new windows or doors, replacement windows or doors, any of the above, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is who you need to call. Locally owned and operated, family-oriented, family-first business. Pella will be 100 years old this year. Founded in 1925. Of course, they have lifetime warranties on all of their windows. But here is the other beautiful thing about Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. They've got a 10-year labor warranty on their product. They back all their work up with that warranty, which is leading in the industry. And they have the staff in place to support you, the customer. I can attest that. I've loved dealing with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. You want the Dawn deal? Just tell them. Give you 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. 615-249-1910 or schedule a free consultation easily. Check out that special offer at PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Mark Mariani, former Titan Pro Bowler, joins us now. Moonshine, what's up? How are you?
What's going on, gang? I heard the whole gang's in the building, which is a beautiful afternoon here in Music City.
What up, Moonshine?
How we living? How we feeling?
I'm trying to figure it out.
You guys got to break some news?
Yeah, man, we got a little GM, man, so we're trying to figure out how I feel right now.
Borgonzi.
Borgonzi.
It's a spaghetti sauce. I'll have the pasta with the Borgonzi sauce.
Who was your GM? Robertson? John Robertson? John Robinson? What
like
the heck?
Pat Robertson?
Yeah.
John Robinson?
No, when it was Mike Reinfeld who drafted
that's right.
me.
Okay.
Who's an absolute stud, by
He's
the
a
way.
great dude.
Absolute
Great dude.
stud. And he was a beast player, and he was very he was just straight to the point and a good dude, never beat around the bush. I really like Mike. I see him all the time still.
Yeah.
And then
Rustin.
it was Rustin.
Yes.
Great dude.
Another great dude. We go to the same church.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
And you know what's funny is when I was a young guy trying to figure out football and life, and I knew the biggest city I've ever seen in my life. I was watching the Titans organization looking not exactly like it is now, but very similar in the sense of, Jeff, Coach Fish and Bud getting a scuff, and then who takes over? Underwood with his 6 mustache and his convertible come in there, and I'm like, well, who's in charge? What's going on? And then Big Tommy comes in there, Tommy Smith, and he hires his guy, and then everybody. It feels like this is a chain of events that happened when Bud and Coach Fish couldn't quite figure things out, and here we are today hiring a new GM and hopefully getting things back on the right track.
Man, we had Tommy Smith on when he got that job on 3HL, and we asked him the question. What is this team's identity? What do you want this team's identity to be? And he couldn't answer the question. And then he was he was gone like 2 weeks later.
Dude, he was tough. That was a tough time in Titans history. I mean, Wisenhunt went with them, didn't he? I mean, that was a tough stretch.
Yeah.
I was up in Chicago watching from afar, but
Wiz was something.
Probably hearing stories too.
Oh boy. Yeah, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? We've all got to digest it this week, and it feels like Miss Amy put her eggs into Chad Brinker's basket and is giving him the keys to the ride and gave him that title of president. And, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if you look at the last 10 years or whatever, 15 years, the most successful, biggest dynasty, 10 years at least, is the Kansas City Chiefs, man. And if they don't like Rand Carthon, if they didn't get along, if he butted heads in the building or slept on the team bus too long or whatever it was, now you hopefully got a guy brought in who's got a championship pedigree and has built the roster up and down, in and out, and has had the most success in the last decade in the NFL. So I think it's big news. I'm excited.
4 playoff games coming up this weekend. Always a fun weekend with the divisional round. But we've got some big point spreads, and we'll hit on that in just a second. What was the blood in the water pick last week, Mark?
Oh, God.
I honestly don't remember.
The blood in the water was...
Uh-oh.
Go, Pat, go!
Oh, it was Packers.
Oh, boy.
I forgot.
Oh, boy.
I thought it was Vikings.
I mean, dude, I'm getting snapped off right now. I mean, it is just...
It was a bloodbath in the water.
That was pathetic. I'm just going...
See, we were just talking about it. We thought you had Washington. We were going to give you the Commanders and give you the win.
I wish I would have had the Commanders, man. Golly, they're looking nasty. But I mean, I almost followed Slay on that Broncos pick. I mean, goodness, I mean that.
I was in on that one, wasn't
something to behold.
You were in on it all week too. Like
I was.
You never wavered.
Nope, not at all. They got them right on out of the way. Send them back to Colorado. Y'all have fun up there.
So what game? Obviously, we're all intrigued by the Ravens at Bills, right? Ravens a 1.5 point favorite in Buffalo. But the other three are, I mean, Chiefs favored by 8 over the Texans, Lions by 9.5 over the Commanders, Eagles by 6.5 over the Rams. Where are you going on this one, Mark?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think smart money is always taking the home dog. I mean, the Bills. Well, this lineup is brutal, and I think these 8 teams show you just how important having quarterback play in the NFL is. I mean, you got the best in the league right now, except for one in Cincinnati who's sitting on the couch. But I mean, this is going to be a fun week of football. But honestly, man, I can't go Bills. I got to go crazy. I can't be rooting for the Bills. I know it's sacrilegious. I know we have the rivalry with the Ravens, but our boy Tutu is over there toting that rock, and I'll be cheering for the Ravens. At least I'll be cheering for the King on – yeah, there we go. I'll be cheering for the King on Sunday. So here's what I'm going with. For no reason, the numbers make no sense, but I'm going for one of the toughest dudes in the NFL, one of the biggest arms in the history of the league, and 2 monster wide receivers. And Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, baby. Let's go, Matthew Stafford. What are you going to do in the snow in Philly? I don't know. Your defense going to step up? Who knows, dude? Saquon Barkley ran for 255 last time these two teams played, like 3-4 weeks ago. 255. So is my confidence level through the roof? No, but it's plus 225, baby. Got that minus 6.5 points. We don't want them. Matt Stafford, we don't want them. So what? We had to get evacuated. Had to go to State Farm Field in Arizona. We don't want those points, baby. I'm sitting here looking at this lineup. I got good football all over the place, but I cannot be cheering for the Bills this weekend. I'm going Rams at Philly, baby. Hammer it, baby. Hammer that money line.
Not only
225. I need to get.
Not only did Saquon Barkley go for 255, he had 302 yards from scrimmage. Both of those are Philadelphia Eagles records. And we were talking about this.
Gosh.
The Eagles D-line, I mean, the Rams D-line is legit, dude. They sacked Sam Darnold 9 times last week.
Well, they're very legit. And you know what else is legit on that team? There was a lot of coverage sacks there. And Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson for the Minnesota Vikings, have been making people look foolish. And there was a couple of coverage sacks in there. You can't blame it all on Sammy D. So I looked at it hard, and, you know, our boy A.J. Brown's been struggling for the Eagles the last month of the season. I think he had 1 catch last week for 10 yards. If they can make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, I mean, here's the other thing. I keep going back to. Screw the records and throw out the numbers and all that stuff. Matthew Stafford is a winning quarterback who has won the Super Bowl, and you need that this time of year. That's why you don't bet against Lamar. You don't bet against, well, Josh, you got to bet against one of them, but you don't bet against Pat Mahomes. I mean, you got Jared Goff, who was in the Super Bowl last year. It's like, these are the guys. This is the time of year where that position just is highlighted and ranged true as being the most important position in sports. And for me, with my hard-earned money, that's just been, you know, a bloodbath with down the stretch.
Right down there with me.
I'm putting it on that right arm, that right shoulder of Matthew Stafford. But this is going to be some sick football. I mean, and you go back to Borgonzi. Go back to Borgonzi. How many times? I mean, the Chiefs go 15-1 and give up last week, whatever. They go 15-1 again. Who's the leading receiver for the Chiefs? Like, who's running the ball for the Chiefs? They just keep coming at you, man. And I'm looking down the system, I'm going, I mean, this is some great football this weekend. And it's like, you know, the Titans, it seems like we're so far from this, but it's going to be fun to watch. So I can't put my money on anybody else. It's going to be fun to watch, but a big weekend. And we'll see what the Commanders can do against the Lions, too. I mean, the Lions seem like a very complete football team. I just keep thinking those injuries are going to mount up on the defensive side of the ball, but they really haven't. They got their leader. They got their heartbeat back. What's his name? Assalone. In the middle, the big linebacker. Yep. Yeah, linebacker back.
Boy, that made a difference.
Weeks, so, yeah, huge difference that last week against the Vikings. Must-win game, week 18. So, anyway, big weekend of football. I got to go with Matt Stafford.
I got you, brother. There he is. He's Mark Mariani.
The vet.
All right, Moonshine. You down?
It is almost 5 o'clock Eastern time, Mark.
Hey, let me ask you this, guys. You tell me what the pick of the week is. I need to get right down here with these playoff games.
Honestly, I like the Ravens in Buffalo going against your home underdog theory there. And then I like all the favorites beyond that. Well, the Ravens
you know what?
Too.
You know,
chalk for me this weekend.
You know what Derrick Henry did to the Bills last time they suited up?
Yep, 199.
I think he went. Yeah, that's right. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but this is going to be some great football. There could be some weather in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be fun this weekend. And then Monday night we got the boys. I couldn't take the Golden Domes either. I mean, it was tough. I mean, it was tough grind this afternoon, sharpening the pencil and trying to figure this out.
Sharpening the pencil.
Out. I mean, it was crazy.
What do you think about Monday's game? National championship.
You know what? It's hard. I think it's going to be I think Notre Dame has got to muddy it up. They've got to make it ugly because what Ohio State was doing to people the last 3 weeks is going to be tough. I mean, they are nasty on both sides of the ball. They're explosive, but that defense is just choking people out. I mean, everybody just has had a hard time handling all these high-powered offense all over the place, and so. I don't know if Notre Dame has enough, but like we talked about last week, they do it the old-fashioned way. They run the ball and they stop the run. They got this two-headed rushing attack and this run defense that can shut you down. Mm-hmm. And if it's a low-scoring game, you got it just like they made against Penn State. Guess what? You make one slip-up, and they're going to take advantage of it. But, gosh, Ohio State is just explosive, man. And they got Jeremiah Smith. And you know what? We'll talk about this all offseason, but, I mean, I know we have a lot of conversation about this quarterback talk, but I don't know why Will Howard isn't getting more love. I mean, he's a big, strong dude. I think he's ranked like 8th or something. But you take
you
guys
so
don't like
inconsistent.
You love all of the quarterbacks that's late, doesn't it?
Man, they keep on fooling my dog.
You like Aaron Rodgers here.
You like
Will Howard.
I'm not saying that I think he's going to be. I mean, he might be a 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick. I'm not saying for the Titans necessarily. I think there's going to be a handful of these guys in the middle of the draft that we can go and take a shot on. My point is, he's a big, strong dude. He won a lot of games at K-State. I mean, it's like, but he's just getting no love, and he's just running through this college football playoff against all these great teams. I mean, he made the Vols look bad. He made Texas look bad. I mean, he is.
Oregon, number one team in the country, look back.
Mm-hmm.
He's earning his stripes in the biggest games of the year. And to me, I like a winner, man. I like somebody who's been in the making those nasty, tough throws when the game is on the line. And so that gets extra credit for me is all I'm saying.
I love
it. I would love a close, tight game and have a couple beers and have this thing go down to the final kick, but it's going to be hard to bet against Ohio State. They're nasty.
All right, drink some brown water for us, Mark. Appreciate you, bro. Have a great weekend.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend, man. Go Two-Tone Blue, baby. Let's go, Titans. We got our GM. We going to get it. Let's go.
There he is, Mark
See you,
Mariani.
Yep.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the 4 NFL divisional playoff games. Got some notes for you there. 3HL, if you want in, 615-737-1045.
Time to start fresh in 2025, and Loan Pronto wants to help you do it. Take control of your finances, lower your house payment, consolidate nagging debt. Did you know 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? I found that out when we looked to refinance our home and get money out for a project, and they were phenomenal. Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, for debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate's over 6%, don't settle for paying too much, even if you are already in the process with another lender. Call Loan Pronto. Let them help you out. You can start the entire process online, by the way, loanpronto.com. Lock in a lower rate, close in as little as 2 weeks. a lot of times you don't even need an appraisal in this area. And you could even skip your next 2 house payments. Fast, easy, hassle-free, no hard credit pull and upfront fees. Call Loan Pronto now. 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com at 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Good afternoon. It's 4:03. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The breaking Titans news of the day. It's been reported multiple times that the Titans are planning to hire Chiefs Assistant General Manager Mike Borgonzi to become the next general manager in Tennessee. The two sides are still working on a contract as Borgonzi has not accepted or countered the Titans' offer. However, the team has already let the other candidates know of their decision. Borgonzi spent 16 years in Kansas City and played a key role in constructing the Chiefs' 3 Super Bowl winning rosters. This weekend, the NFL playoffs continue with the divisional round. On Saturday, it's the Chiefs hosting the Texans. On Saturday at 3:30, the Lions hosting the Commanders at 7. Over to Sunday, the Eagles hosting the Rams at 2 o'clock. And at night, it's an MVP matchup between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson as the Bills host the Ravens at 5:30. This weekend in SEC hoops, pretty stacked. Number 8 Kentucky and number 4 Alabama face off at 11 a.m. Number 23 Georgia hosts the top-ranked Auburn Tigers at noon. And then number 6 Tennessee comes to Nashville to face Vanderbilt at 2:30. For all your foundation repair and whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bringing news at once on your home of the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. What up, Nashville? Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Happy Friday. Babsy Davenport is here, y'all.
What up, Babsy? Babsy?
What up?
Party people.
Party people in the house.
What up?
Party people. Oh, there it is. Is that where you got it from?
Baby Babs loves that song.
Oh, she does?
Uh-huh. Request it.
So...
See, that's why Ung need to pick her up from school. She have all kind of requests by the time she get home. Yeah.
Oh, boy. We don't need any new requests.
So does she just bust out dancing when songs come on she likes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Got to start volleyball here soon. Maybe some basketball.
Where is she on the height scale?
She's actually tall for her age right now, but let's be honest. There's no way this child can be tall.
I don't know. You never know, man.
I mean, my side of my family's huge.
Yeah.
All of them.
You've got a long torso, so that could throw some stuff. Like if she ends up with long legs and then gets your long torso, then she's taller than both of y'all.
No, I have a short torso and long
legs. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
she has really long legs.
Flip it and reverse it.
Yes. She's 4 years old, and I have to put her in 6s because her legs are too long. But then they're too big at the waist, so yeah. Yeah.
Slay Dog has long legs. Long, skinny legs. Which he said he didn't notice yesterday until he noticed.
I didn't. Yeah, Todd looked at him. Can't really see him. Me and Babs are kind of built alike.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot alike. Y'all are a lot alike.
The 6'8", 5'7" thing.
5'7". I was wondering where you were going to go with that.
And the Hitchcock.
No, dude, you dropped some LBs.
Yeah, Hitchcock creeping back.
I mean, they are both SEC athletes, so.
SEC athletes. Dawn was 5'7" at Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she started 3HL, she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her, guess what he told me? 5'6". At least that's what you told me. And then you went recently, and the doctor said 5'5".
Mm-hmm.
And you said, now, hold on a minute.
Like 5'5", not 5'5" and 3/4
yeah.
or something. No.
Just straight up.
Just straight
right
up.
down. Boom.
So
and we found out that was a lie.
Yeah. How many views on TikTok when we measured Davenport?
A lot.
Like 140,000, something like that?
Oh, way more than that.
It was like over 200,000.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Closer to 3 than
Hope
200.
everybody enjoyed it because TikTok apparently is.
Oh, here we go.
I heard
Bye-bye.
that. I heard that.
It got upheld, too, today.
It did?
Mm-hmm.
It's gone on Sunday.
Gone dog.
Sunday, Bloody
Go watch.
Sunday.
I bet people are going to be way more productive.
Yeah, but they're all going to this new app called Red Note, which is like even more foreign than TikTok.
Who
What
owns
does that
Red Note?
even
like
mean?
TikTok was China, right?
Yeah, it's still China.
Oh, well, what the hell are we doing then?
I don't know.
We're just swapping one for the other?
Yeah.
Okay.
From China to China.
All right, Babs will be all over that story. Do some research. You mentioned at the beginning of the show that your husband woke you up this morning.
I want to hear this.
Saying that he had it all figured out.
Let me preface this with anybody that doesn't listen to our show. My husband, Mr. Babs, is a diehard Titans fan. He's been here in Nashville 20 years. Has been since they got here, like diehard, right? So I get a great gauge of where the fan base is from him.
You talking about the crazy?
The crazy,
yeah.
The overdramatic,
sometimes on point.
Of it.
Sometimes on point.
Sometimes on point. The like you guys used to talk about the battered Vols syndrome.
Yeah.
Like he's got the battered Titans syndrome. Like every single year, if I'm like, I think this team can win 7 games, 8 games, whatever. Tannehill's not that bad. Blah blah blah. I think they're a playoff team. You know. Are you crazy? There's no way this team's going to win 3 games. Da, da, da. So this is Mr. Babs, just to give you the whole preface.
So you said he basically woke you up talking about this, which means that he spent time awake, not sleeping, because he was thinking through this Titans thing.
No doubt.
So he wrote, I laid it all out for Dawn today, the dream scenario for the Titans when it comes to the draft. Here you go.
You ready? This is my life, guys. This is my life.
Give me some more. I want it.
Sign Kirk Cousins to 2-year deal. It starts with that, Slay. Slay's out on that.
Which I'm okay with.
Yep. I would have went back to sleep.
I'm great with that.
No, I would have rolled over. But okay, let's go.
I'm good with that.
Old guy with Achilles injury.
But wait.
Who threw 9 interceptions in his last 5 games to get booted for a rookie while in the playoff hunt with 2 games left.
I mean, hey.
I mean, you got to make a move to the rookie at some point.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so sign Kirk Cousins to 2-year deal. That's your bridge quarterback. Trade number 1 to the Browns for the number 2 pick and their first-round pick next year. And you get other picks. They draft Cam Ward, number 1. Trade number 2 to the Giants for number 3 and their first round next year. They draft Shedeur Sanders. So now you're at 3 with 3 first-round picks next year.
So we're working our way back in the draft. Okay.
Assuming Vrabel wants Travis Hunter, we trade number 3 for number 4 and their first round next year. So that's 4 first-round picks next year. Unprecedented. They draft Travis Hunter. With the Jags sitting at 5, we don't want to face Abdul Carter twice a year, so we trade number 4 to Vegas for number 6 and next year's second-round pick, or number 4 to the New York Jets for number 7 and next year's second-round pick. So he's got 4 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. We're just moving down like one piece at a time. Now we're at 7, I guess. They draft A. Carter, and then the Titans draft the best offensive lineman available and are set the F up for 2026 draft.
Yep.
So Travis Hunter has the Titans ended up with the best offensive lineman and 4 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks next year.
Let me tell y'all something.
Now, listen, the very beginning of it was totally feasible, actually. Yeah. If you can convince those teams that you're taking their quarterback.
Can you imagine 4 first-round picks?
Mind you, you're working with a time. Like, you're on the clock.
Yeah. No, so
you're trading back one pick at a time.
But you're having conversations well before the draft to see
absolutely.
who's in or out.
Yeah, I totally get that. But that many conversations though?
Oh yeah. You have every single conversation. Every possible scenario conversation is passed along somehow between GMs or somebody in the franchise that's in charge. Absolutely. So you have to gauge interest.
Yeah, but if y'all have these conversations,
that is
I'm one of the teams.
Insane scenario.
Yeah, I'm one of the teams,
and he knows
I'm just gonna go back door and tell the Raiders, "Hey, y'all, don't listen to what he's saying. I'm gonna stay in my spot and I'll trade for it." You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying.
Well, all that goes on though. This is Lion season, Slay.
No, I agree. I agree with that. My thing is okay. First of all, this is nuts. But second off, that we having this conversation. Second, I'm not going to get Kirk Cousins.
I love the moving back one pick at a time thing.
That's all I'm saying.
That's amazing.
If that is, well, when I say perfect, that is, woo.
They'd make a movie about that.
I know it's got to be Lion season and everybody's talking, but boy, if you playing chess like that, man, you going down in history as the ultimate GM that's ever
Eric Green,
drafted.
God of heaven, the great I am, please, please, please let this happen. End my suffering.
Oh, the comments are so good. Nick says all trades all day. Chosen _522. Is this April Fool's Day? Let's see.
We need Mr. Babs in the chat.
Yeah, why do we hire Borgonzi when we had Mr. Babs right here all along?
They would make a draft day too.
It's a guarantee.
About the Tennessee Titans.
It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee.
Eric, please let this happen. Jonathan, I'm dead.
That's cold-blooded. I'm telling you, that's dope if it could happen, boy. But
draft day 2.
Damn.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Moneyball 2.
Yeah, you could phrase it as Moneyball too. Yeah.
Brooke says, "Does Mr. Babs partake in what is it? Ayahuasca? Ayahuasca?
Oh yeah.
Ayahuasca. Yeah. Also,
I don't think
I
that
thought we weren't supposed to call him Mr. Babs anymore.
No, he's Mr. Babs. You said that, not me.
Savage said it too.
And Travis said it. Please, God Almighty,
he everything to me.
Listen, I don't care what any of y'all say. I'm in charge here.
I'm riding with Miss Babs then.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think he got to
Got
the
no
end
choice.
part of it in his story this morning. I think I shut him down before we got to like Abdul Carter kind of thing.
I'm telling you this, Babsy.
I think he just added some extra on
Babsy,
there.
if 2 of those work, you've just hit. Like, you're winning. If you can jump back from 1 to do what you did, and then a 2, like,
and you're okay with not getting a quarterback.
I don't
and
give a
then you
damn
have
what
all
happened. If
that
you can get
draft
3
capital
first
to move
rounders,
up, if you can get 2 first
Titans, y'all want to get me back on y'all squad? Pull that off.
Yeah, just keep trading down.
Because right now I'm on the sideline watching.
DHB, Mr. Babs is on drugs.
Yeah, some good ones too. Because guess what? If they come true, we own. Everybody gonna take them. I want them.
Dewey Cheatham and Hal, what should we call him?
Mr. Babs.
Look at the conversation, Shield.
Eric, hey, not all herbs are bad.
Some help you see the future.
Yeah.
There you go. I like this Eric Reed in our chat.
Harder said,
here.
I'm in the wrong damn business. I should have been a GM. Oh,
Honey,
man.
are you at the club drinking? What are you doing?
He's probably drinking with Rex Ryan. Maybe Rex Ryan's feeding him this idea. 615-737-1045. You want in. When we come back, Greg Cosell going to take an early breakdown look at Cam Ward and Shador Sanders, and then all 4 divisional playoff games. That's next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Hey, what's happening? Kill'emStemCellInstitute.com, man. Hey, I'm telling you, I've been traveling. Babs talked about it when I was coming in the door. Like, it got them knees hurting, don't it? I said, yep, I got to get back over there and see Kellum Stem Cell and get a little secret sauce. And when I'm talking about the secret sauce, first and foremost, you must know that it's your body, your cells, your solution. So it's already sauce that I actually have. It's just been stored and going to be used for future and continued use by Kellum Stem Cell. So when I go in there and I want the results to hit fast, then I go and get it hit directly where it needs to go. And that's my need. Nanoparticles and other growth factors function by increasing the energy output of your cells, as well as improving cell communication. The end result is faster healing and pain relief. And I'm living proof of it. And that's exactly what I need. So call and set your consultation up right now. 615-850-4415. I'm telling you, you can trust them. Dr. Ethan Kellum is going to deliver at KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Titans hire Mike Borgonzi from the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't help it. I have to do it kind of like in an Italian way there.
No.
And you laugh.
No, when you saying like this the NFL calendar, it was kind of good.
Oh, yeah, because Zeph was like, 2 years ago today, the Titans hired Rand Carthon as general manager. That's kind of weird. And I was like, actually not, because the NFL calendar is what it is. I mean, they just start going.
The Jets just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, they do whatever they want, take as long as they want. Borgonzi attended and played college football for Brown University. He was a fullback. He was 3-time All-Ivy League as a fullback. Served as tight ends coach at Amherst College, then spent several years working in the financial sector in Boston. Borgonzi then was assistant recruiting coordinator at Boston College. In 2009, he was hired by the Kansas City Chiefs as their administrator of college scouting under general manager Scott Pioli. In 2010, Borgonzi was promoted to manager of football operations. 2011, promoted to pro scout. 2013, promoted to assistant director of pro scouting under general manager John Dorsey. 2015, named co-director of player personnel alongside Brett Veach, who is the GM there now. 2017, Borgonzi promoted to director of player personnel under GM Brett Veach. There you go. 2018, Borgonzi promoted to director of football operations. 2019, won his first Super Bowl when the Chiefs defeated the 49ers. 2021, Borgonzi promoted to assistant GM. 2022, his second Super Bowl when the Chiefs defeated Philadelphia. In 2023, Borgonzi won his third Super Bowl with the Chiefs defeating the 49ers again. There you go.
Pretty damn good resume.
So the Titans front office consists of an All-Ivy League fullback and an all Mid-American Conference running back in Chad Brinker.
There you go. You can play some sort of, intramural game or something over there. Greg Cosell joins us now on 3HL as he does every Friday at 4:20. Greg, you got Don Davenport back in the studio today.
Hi, Cosell. Why can't I hear him, Zeph?
Greg Cosell joins us on 3HL.
I'm here, guys. How you doing?
Oh, there you are. Hi, Cosell.
Hi, Dawn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. See, the most important thing about Mike Borgonzi's, background and resume is Amherst College, because that's where I went.
Oh, there
you
go.
Go to Amherst College. Yeah.
I did. I was there a few years before Mike, but hey, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Just a few, right?
He was tight end
just a few
at Amherst College.
What do you know about him? Do you know him personally?
Yeah, I don't know him personally. No, I do not. I mean, he's been with the Chiefs for a really long time, but I do not know him. So hopefully I'll get to meet him at some point.
There we go. As soon as it's a real done deal. Apparently not.
Oh, it's not official yet?
It's official from Schefter and Rossini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And it probably it probably is going to happen then.
Yeah.
So
obviously, as we roll through pre-draft season, we're going to get your breakdown on a lot of these guys. Titans with the overall number 1 pick, obviously, and you and I were talking earlier. You have had a chance to look at Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders a little bit. Which guy?
A little bit. I mean, I did both guys last summer. I've watched 4 games of Sanders and 3 games of Ward within this past week. So yeah, I started to do some work.
What
did you watch the Miami-Syracuse Cam Ward?
Did I watch that game?
Yeah.
Cam Ward, I watched Florida, Virginia Tech, and Louisville.
Okay.
Gotcha. So let's start with Shedeur Sanders. Greg, what do you see on film from him in the 3-4 games you looked at?
I like the way he plays. He's pretty compact in his delivery. I think he sees the field well. I think he had a pretty strong innate sense of the coverage in relation to the route concepts. He doesn't make many risky throws. He's a pretty precise ball location thrower. I think he has a pretty good feel for timing and anticipation. He's got what I would call functional mobility. He's not going to be necessarily a playmaker with his legs. He's not a he's not a great athlete. He's not an explosive quarterback athlete, but he has a feel for avoiding pressure, making plays outside the pocket. I thought he was a good prospect. He didn't strike me. And like I said, I've done it in the past 2 years. I've seen his tape from his year at Jackson State. I saw his tape his first year at Colorado. And then I've seen the 4 games this year. I like him. I don't think I come away watching him going, that guy is a special prospect, but I think he's a good prospect. At this point, and I'll do some more work, obviously, and I'll see a lot of other players too, obviously. But I don't see him as a first or second pick in a draft, but you never know. And when teams need the quarterback position, all that is a whole different animal.
What about arm strength for him?
I'd say it's good that he can make all the throws. He actually made one throw that I watched against Kansas State that was a big-time throw. It was a far hash go route and he threw it so easily from a squeezed pocket. But I would say overall he's not a gun thrower, but I don't think there's an issue with his arm strength.
Okay.
Greg Cosell with us on 3HL. All right, that leads us into Cam Ward. What have you seen on tape from him? Much different quarterback.
Yeah, he's a different player. Now, he's a guy that makes a lot of plays outside of structure, and he's really, really good at that. He's got really clean vision on the move. He can make off-platform throws. He's kind of has a whip-like delivery. His delivery is a little low. Sometimes he drops the ball below his waist, but he compensates at times because his delivery is so whip-like. He snaps it. He's got some fundamental things that need to be cleaned up, but they're all clean-upable, as it were. He drifts at times on his dropbacks. He doesn't set his feet. He doesn't plant. That's a lack of discipline. That can be cleaned up. But he definitely is a good thrower of the football. He's aggressive turning it loose. He can make those window throws between the numbers that are essential for the NFL. And he's really composed and poised on the move. There's no sense of desperation or freneticism. He stays focused. He makes downfield throws. He's pretty gifted. I think there's a lot there to work with. There's never a guarantee when guys have some things that have to be cleaned up. Right. There's never a guarantee that they get cleaned up, but they can be. But he's a pretty gifted guy. So
from a standpoint, and this might be a reaching question and hard to answer, but from the standpoint of the things that stand out just from what you've seen that he needs to clean up, is there somebody in the past that has had similar fundamental things that need to be cleaned up from a quarterback standpoint that has happened in the league? Do you know what I'm asking?
Yeah, and I'll give you an immediate example. I thought Drake May in his last year at North Carolina had a strong tendency to drift on his dropbacks. That got cleaned up a bit this year in New England because that's fixable. You just have to, it's all repetition. Quarterback, I think a lot of people, and it's a very difficult balance because the guys who can make plays outside of structure, more and more quarterbacks are like that. And so we become focused on that. And by the way, that's a great thing. You see Jaden Daniels. I mean, I've talked to coordinators who say with the guys who can make plays outside of structure, Don, that you literally have to have 2 defenses, one for the first 2 and 2.5 seconds of a play. And then you almost have to have another defense for after 2.5 seconds. So it's really hard to play defense against those guys, but it's also a position of nuance, detail, of discipline, and you have to be able to do that part as well. So you need to clean up the discipline part of it, and I think, like I said, you can do that. Those are coachable and teachable points. Whether they get done, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Right. I mean, it depends on coaching, on how he's coached, on the player, all of it. Yeah, and none of that is guaranteed.
Remember, Tim Tebow was over here at D1 with Bruce Arians trying to fix his arm slot and could never do it.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, so a lot of the national people have said that Cam Ward's game is not a fit for what Brian Callahan wants to do or likes to do offensively. I mean, we had said I think last week I was like, I'm not even sure if we know what Brian Callahan is or wants to do offensively yet as a head coach, just because we haven't really seen a ton, and he was dealing with Will Levis and a terrible offensive line. But from that standpoint, can you talk anything about fit and what you've seen from Callahan and Titans and what they want to do offensively?
Without, again, I don't know what's in Brian Callahan's head, but I'll just give you my interpretation, which could be right, it could be wrong. I can only tell you, my sense. Keep in mind where Brian Callahan came from. So they had a quarterback in Joe Burrow, and obviously Joe Burrow can make plays, by moving, but at his core, Joe Burrow is one of the best timing, rhythm, get the ball out, knows where to go with it, throw it to the right receiver at the right time with the right kind of throw. He can do that as well as any quarterback in the league. So that's where Brian Callahan came from. So Cam Ward, while he is capable of that, you would say that that's probably not the thing that stands out most about his game right now. What stands out most about his game are those second reaction movement plays, which he's very good at. Someone like Shadir Sanders, and again, I'm not suggesting that's the pick. Like I said, I'm not sure I would view him as the number one pick in a draft, but he plays more like that. That's more, Sanders to me is more like stylistically a CJ Stroud, someone who, yes, can make a play with his legs every once in a while, but at their core, they're pocket rhythm players. That's the way they're going to have to succeed in the NFL.
So from what, and I know you've only watched, last year and then 3 games of Cam Ward, but from what you've seen from him so far, would you put him as a first, second, or third pick in an NFL draft? Everybody says this quarterback class stinks, Yeah. I think because of his ability to make those kinds of plays, I think that, that's become more important in the league, and you've got to grow with the league. I mean, these are the kinds of quarterbacks for the most part, Don, you cover, college every week, you see the quarterbacks that are there now. You're getting great athletes who have big arms, who may not be truly disciplined in the way they play, but this is what the, college is putting out. So the question becomes, this is Cam Ward. And I struggle to say this, but because I'm just not sure yet, and I hope people understand that. So this is not a definitive. Wow, Greg Cosell said this, but I think some might look at Cam Ward and think that the ceiling is greater, just because he can do some more things that have become more important in the league, but yet he still needs a lot of work to become a pocket player with the subtleties, the nuances, the details, and the disciplines of playing, NFL quarterback. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Greg Cosell with us, NFL Films, NFL Matchup.
Somebody in the chat said, it sounds like Cam Ward's comp is Will Levis. I did not get that at all.
No.
At all. Okay. Just cleaning it up.
We'll leave it at no.
Right, no. And that's not a knock on Will. They're just not the same.
They're just not the same. Yeah. But Cam he's got the arm strength, though. It's there.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Cosell, is it anybody that you've been able to watch so far that has kind of caught your eye and you are going to keep a close eye as they
Well, it's funny. I jump around, and I'm still in the NFL, Slay, as you know. Okay, so I'm just jumping around.
That's kind of a big weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm one person. There's only so many hours in the day. Right. But and I forget where this guy went to college, but I'm trying to see my sheet here. Do you know? Well, Dawn might know. Do you know a receiver, Dawn, named Jack Beck?
Yes.
Does that name ring a bell to you?
Yes, but how? Is it BECHT?
TCU. Okay,
yeah.
I what I do a lot of times is randomly I just pick guys that are on lists and I just watch them, Slay. Mm-hmm. And so I watched this kid, Jack Beck, who I think started his career not at TCU. He might have been at LSU to start. I just loved watching this guy's tape. I think he's a really intriguing wide receiver to me. He's not going to be, my guess is, a top 20 pick or anything like that. Right. But I just think he's one of those guys that's going to play in the league and play in the league for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A little diamond in the rough. Yeah, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm.
Have you happened to check out Jackson Dart at all?
You know what? I saw him. I did him last year, and obviously, I'm going to see him again in great detail. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. Ole Miss is one of those schools that has so many guys. It's just ridiculous. But Jackson Dart's, he's an interesting guy because he's a guy that ran a specific kind of offense. So you have to think about his ability to run a more detailed passing game with higher level progression reading concepts. He obviously has plus athleticism. He can move around and make plays. I think his arm strength is probably just above average. He's not a big arm, not a power thrower. His delivery is somewhat elongated. He's a guy, Brent, that I go back and forth on. And again, I need to do him from this year. Last year, obviously, I did him last summer, the summer of 2024. We're 2025. God, I forget half the time what year it is these days. He's just, I'm not sure yet. I don't think he's going to be seen as a first-round pick, but we'll see. We'll see. About quarterbacks, you know how people are with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Love it, Cosell. Hey, great conversation. I know you're not diving in fully yet, and can't wait till you do.
No. It's we're still in the NFL season.
Yes.
I know Tennessee is not, but I am.
Hey, we've been done for a long time here in Tennessee.
Hey, can I ask you about Ravens-Bills real quick? Obviously,
sure.
Everyone intrigued by the Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen quarterback battle. The last time Baltimore played in the playoffs in Buffalo, 17-3 loss in the divisional round. And Lamar was asked if that sticks with him. His answer was, hell yes. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, you know me, guys. I don't do narrative, because I hear a lot of people say, well, the loser of this game, and I love when I hear that stuff because what's the point of that? So are they going to say that if the Bills lose, they should get rid of Josh Allen? Right. Or if the Ravens lose, they should get rid of Lamar Jackson? It's such a stupid thing to say. I mean, they're both great quarterbacks, and someone's going to win and someone's going to lose.
Yep. What I wanted to ask you, the defense for the Ravens changed dramatically. Kyle Hamilton at safety. Week
11 was the change.
Yeah. What do they look like? What are they doing differently? What is Buffalo going to do you think to try to attack?
Well, to me, that's one of the big questions in this game, Brent, because Buffalo clearly a week ago, and I'm sure you guys watched the game, they clearly felt they could come out and physically beat the Broncos, and they came out and they ran the ball. They ran it with 6 offensive linemen. They out-physicaled the Broncos. The question is, will they feel the same way about the Ravens, who have a really good run defense and have a lot of 300-pounders in the middle? So that to me is one of the starting point questions of this game, is how will the Bills see their offense against this defense, and can they do that? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, they went week 5, too, offensively, more through James Cook. James Cook, 16 rushing touchdowns this year, Greg. 13 have come after week 5.
Yeah, they've run the ball well. They've run the ball really well, and it's become a meaningful part of what they do. The question is, can they do it against this defense?
Since you love the quote so much, I'll leave you with this one. Bills defensive tackle Daquan Jones said about the matchup, quote, "It's going to be a bloodbath," end quote.
Well, it's also going to be, I think, wind chill like 0. So,
10 degrees.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
No.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
There you go. Greg Cosell, have a great weekend, man. NFL matchup coming up early in the morning on Saturday and Sunday, I think. When we come back, more NFL talk. If you want in, 615-737-1045. Want to tell you about my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. Get it done this weekend, man, as we, roll through toward February. Man, time flies. My guy Daniel Gupton and his crew ready to help you out. Just let them know what you're looking for, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. They'll be able to get you into that test drive. You go inside. They'll help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. They've got all kinds of deals going on. You can see all these online. GuptonMotors.com is the website, whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned. These guys are your guys, and their inventory is online as well. They have a great inventory, GuptonMotors.com. Check it out. Select 2024 Jeep Gladiators up to 25% off MSRP, $500 off every pre-owned vehicle with dealer-arranged financing. 2024 Jeep Wrangler 4xe, 0% for 72 months. And the big dogs, Ram 3500, 4500, 5500 in stock, upfitted and ready for all of your commercial needs. Check them out. Again, GuptonMotors.com is the website. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Get up there this weekend. That's Gupton, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slade. Danny Cannell coming up at 5 o'clock. We'll get his take on the College Football National Championship game, which is coming up on Monday. Are you with me, Ohio State?
Yes, but I don't know about them points.
Yeah.
I don't know about them covering.
Here's my problem with that game and going against Ohio State. I'm going to be mad if I go against Ohio State and then they score 2 touchdowns in the first quarter with 2 deep balls, and you're like, what?
If you go with Ohio State?
No, if I go against them.
Yeah. But no, that's what
I'd rather go with them
happen.
and lose than go against them and then them blow Notre Dame out, because I could see that happening.
I don't think they're going to blow them out. I think Marcus Freeman got some, like, with that. It's a lot entangled in this whole little situation.
He
Him
has
being
it
from
going.
Ohio State,
He has it going.
Them wanting to be able to get out there and get back to it. And it's a little bit of I think you feel disrespected in a sense. And I think his players feel it too. I think that James Franklin press conference, that ignited something for them to run on off with. And I think I kind of want to see Ohio State lose, but I don't think they are.
So this is where you are.
Yeah, I don't think they are though. I think they too potent. But I do think that game gonna be close, man.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, the Texas game was really close, honestly, if you think about it. I know they got some score separation. If you just look at the score, they won by 14, whatever it is. But, I mean, Texas had first and goal at the 2, trying to tie the game.
Yep.
Why in the world did they try to run a toss sweep on second and goal from the 2-yard line?
Sometimes you got to sweep it. Sweep the leg.
Zapka, he lives in Nashville.
Does he?
Yeah. Johnny from Karate Kid.
Good job, yo. But I think Ohio State's been playing with their hair on fire. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it's just something.
But they lost 7 yards on that play, and then it totally put them behind the chains, and then they have to do things. So then they're rolling yours out, and that's how you end up with the strip sack, fumble, touchdown.
Is it possible Will Howard to be a Sam Darnold? Meaning finally show up?
Meaning not show up?
I mean, the real Will Howard finally showing up.
Yeah.
So I ain't all the way out on that.
Michigan?
Yeah, now I'm giving Miss Prop. There you go. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, throw 2 interceptions on an out route.
Or you over game plan. Or it's a lot of time in between here.
Well, we'll talk with Danny Cannell at 5 o'clock, get his take on it, and then we'll spend a lot of time, obviously, on Monday about that. We do have some breaking news.
What done broke?
A deal has been reached with Titans and former Cheifs assistant GM Mike Borgonzi. It is a 5-year contract tying him to Tennessee through 2029. He goes from aiming for a 3-peat to now holding the draft's number 1 overall.
So for the next 3 years, they're paying 2 GMs.
Yes, sir.
Unless Rand gets a job somewhere.
I wouldn't go get one.
No, I'd be sitting on a beach. What? I'm on a boat.
A nickel? 5 years, though?
You know what that is?
That's commitment.
Come rebuild this franchise.
Yeah, that's commitment right there.
That's probably how one of the ways they got him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seth. Good job.
Hey, Zephyr.
What's up?
Good job, brother. Way to do your job
I
back up, my
appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah, you're a big dog.
Love reading Adam Schefter tweets on the air.
Hey.
5-year deal.
That's a lot, dog. Were you expecting anybody expecting that?
No.
I don't either.
But I was surprised they got him. So.
I was surprised they even got him.
Yeah.
So
I expected John Eric Sullivan.
With this being
for numerous reasons.
a seesaw franchise as far as wording goes, is this them going to have to go back and reword what they delegate and stuff to? Like, will this be a real GM?
That will be interesting to see.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to figure out how they got him.
You can't be no glorified scout with 5 years. Ain't no glorified scouts getting 5 years.
Mm-mm.
So how many of those 5 years does he make it through? Because the last two haven't.
That's my boy. That's my boy. That's Cracker Barrel self right there.
5
That's
minutes.
Cracker Barrel self right there.
That signature
There we
has
go.
been on that contract for 5 minutes. That's
There we
already
go,
talking about how long does he last.
There we go.
Listen,
I'm going based off history.
If he hits on a quarterback, all of it.
Extension.
Yep.
Hey, he ain't there. They're going to extend him out to year 1.
Yep.
Get on a quarterback.
Like if you get Jaden Daniels type season out of Cam Ward, can you imagine?
10 years.
And a playoff win?
10 years.
And a win away from the NFC Championship game?
10 years.
I mean, when you look at Washington and their history, that was their first playoff win in 19 years. They haven't been in the NFC Championship game since 1991. This is where they are with a rookie quarterback.
See, so what you're saying is take your blinders off and look around the league, Titans. You ain't that bad. That's what Babs was saying earlier.
You can flip it.
Like, we're bad, but, like.
You can reverse it.
Look how. Okay, miss.
I mean,
well,
you can.
Here's my other take on it. That guy has been with the Chiefs for a while, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He's not taking this job if he doesn't look at what's going on here at the roster, at what Miss Amy told him about commitment and all of that. He doesn't take this job if he doesn't think he can turn it into that.
What would I just had to pull it up?
16 years in Kansas City.
That's all. Okay, that was. And what was his role?
16 years.
I mean, basically,
he moved up, but he was the assistant GM.
Every year, he got a new title.
So even in a sense, even if he is coming over with the same title, but you general manager,
he wouldn't come for the same.
Come for the same.
Scott Pioli hired him. Scott Pioli was, back in the day, like that was a genius. That was the Patriots guy. Mm-hmm. And then he went to Kansas City, and look what happened.
All right, sell me.
Do you feel better?
Not yet.
And what's interesting is he comes from Kansas City, where Brett Veach is viewed as one of the best GMs in football, and he doesn't have roster control. Brett Veach doesn't. It's kind of a new way to do it.
It's so much that could be masked with a franchise guy like that, though. It's kind of like what Derrick Henry was, walking away. You feel what I'm saying? And then you don't?
I don't get it.
Oh, I'm saying with Patrick Mahomes. Right. It's so much that can be masked with them when you start to talk about developing talent, like and being able to hit on guys in the draft. Well, it's kind of easy to hit on guys in the draft if I got a once in a lifetime, once in a generation type quarterback back there.
You're right.
Could Cam Ward be that guy?
But what about on the other side too? And what about the Trey Smiths and the stuff like that?
I'm with you on that. No question about it. No question about it. I ain't knocking them. I'm just like,
No, I like this conversation. But let me put this out there too. If you're in charge of personnel from a standpoint of scouting and all of that, aren't you in essence in charge of the roster?
You have to be. It's your decision.
You can look at it that way. If you're talking about, them being so big on, we want a football guy that's going to go out and look at players and watch players, a scout kind of guy for this GM position. Well, then, in essence, you are in charge of the roster.
Because you got to stand on who you're going to pick.
I'm very interested to hear the details and how things might have changed in terms of role. But we'll see.
And they good with flipping it, too.
For our next segment, pull up.
Nope, Danny Cannell.
After Danny, pull up exactly the statement about the GM job, what Miss Amy released, what Brinker released, all that. And we'll revisit.
5:20.
After we give Danny Cannell a whole lot of crap.
Man, Davenport loves to do that. And we'll get his take on the national championship game.
Yes.
How about that? All right, all that coming up. Stay tuned. 3HL 1045 this home.
Good evening, everyone. It is 5:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Breaking Titans news today, as it was announced that the Titans are hiring Chiefs assistant GM Mike Borgonzi to become the next general manager in Tennessee. His deal is complete, as they have officially agreed on a 5-year contract tying him to Tennessee through the 2029 season. Borgonzi goes from aiming for a three-peat with the Chiefs to now holding the draft's #1 overall pick. This weekend in NFL playoffs continues with the divisional round of games. On Saturday, the Chiefs host the Texans at 3:30. The Lions host the Commanders at 7. On Sunday, the Eagles host the Rams at 2 o'clock, while at 5:30, it's an MVP matchup between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson as the Bills host the Ravens. This weekend in SEC hoops, number 8 Kentucky and number 4 Alabama face off at 11 a.m. Number 23 Georgia hosts the top-ranked Auburn Tigers at noon, while number 6 Tennessee heads to Nashville to face Vanderbilt at 2:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home, the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. We'll get some intros in just a little bit. SEC basketball Saturday, number 4 Alabama at number 8 Kentucky. Kentucky favored by 2.5.
Just dive straight in, baby. 11 o'clock. Let's go.
Georgia had a brief run in the top 25. They get in the top 25 for the first time in like 20 years.
They can still be in there. They get this victory. They won't fall.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're not going to get this victory. You going to push back on Auburn losing to Georgia?
You
never know.
You're not.
Babsy said I'm not, but I'm.
That's just how tough the SEC is. You get into the top 25, then you go play at Tennessee, and then you play number 1 Auburn. That's your week.
People taking care of home, man.
Yeah, they are. Georgia's got 2 big wins at home, actually, now that I think about it.
I'm trying to.
Number 6 Tennessee at Vanderbilt tomorrow, 2:30 SEC Network. Slay Dog will be on the SEC Network all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Cannell joins us now, thanks to Bet Online. Danny, what's up? How are you?
What's up, Brent? I am honored to be on with you guys because I think this is the first time all season long I've been able to catch up with Don Davenport, the legend who's been out. And then even more importantly, like I saw Ron Slay just in a suit at an Auburn basketball game looking fly. Like I thought I was a good dressed man. Ron was looking fly. He was looking good.
He cleans up once in a while.
Yeah, just every now and then.
Danny,
lucky.
That was a wild ass place too. He ends up interviewing a guy in a coconut bikini.
You better watch out. He's going to get too good looking for radio.
Ain't that something? That was a lucky day. That's all, Danny.
Check out Bet Online for a plethora of college football playoff final game and player lines, plus opening odds for the 2026 college football playoff. How do you break this game down, Danny? We'll start with the line. Ohio State -8 against Notre Dame, favored by 8. Slay and I were just talking about this game. What?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
You can't just jump into like real talk with Cannell. My first time here while he's
what
here.
What do you want to hit him with?
I mean, where's your ACC, Danny?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the downfall of the SEC. That's done. I thought that's where you were going. I don't know. We have a half a team in because Notre Dame is kind of like a half an ACC team.
Oh, now you're blaming Notre Dame.
Oh, for sure. We're definitely. I mean, they do play 5 teams.
No, that does not count. Hey, listen, we saw your little soft flex on your boat out on the water, talking about I'm out. I was wrong. The ACC sucks. You're all right.
Hey, you know what I would like to congratulate all you guys on? The SEC is a basketball conference. Like that is what they are now. They are a basketball conference owning that landscape, and now they just have to kind of pick up the pieces of what's left behind for the football teams.
Better basketball conference than the ACC right now. Top to bottom.
But what's going to be really funny is when the ACC has 2 teams in the Final Four like they always do, and then you guys will cry about it. And one of them might be my nephew again. My nephew, I was there last year with NC State. The surprise run they had was pretty cool. But the SEC is crushing it in basketball. It's pretty impressive. It does show like the money there. You're able to, and it is true. Like you can buy just the 2 or 3 good players, and it can make you, exactly what they are. This run of dominance by being able to spread that talent around. It's pretty impressive what they've been doing for sure.
No doubt. Okay, now we can talk substance.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Babs. This is what I work with, Danny.
I love it. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way if she didn't give me a hard time.
That's right.
Wouldn't be fitting.
So Slay and I were talking about that number of 8.
Yep.
Big number, but Ohio State, since the Michigan game, double-digit wins in all 3 games. Where do you come down on that number of 8 with Ohio State favored?
So I really want Notre Dame to make it a game, right? Just from somebody who doesn't have a team that I don't care who wins. I want to see an entertaining game, right? And after we saw some blowouts, I want to see it close. And I will say this. I know it was a 14-point win against Texas, but that was, a first and goal away from potentially being an overtime game. And I do think Texas kind of showed you don't have to give up 30-plus points, or 40 points to that offense, which has so much NFL talent. If you keep them in front of you, don't give up the big plays, contain Jeremiah Smith, which is it's easier said than done, but they at least showcase that you can do it. And then the other thing I look at Notre Dame, I do think they're a similar build to what Michigan is. And we saw the team that Michigan beat Ohio State, gave them fits along the line of scrimmage, made it kind of an ugly game. That's the recipe, I think, for Notre Dame to stay in it, is to kind of bring Ohio State in the mud with them. Like, make it ugly, make it a slugfest, control the time of possession, which I do think they can have some success doing with. A mobile quarterback like Riley Leonard does drive defensive coordinators nuts because you think you've got everybody accounted for, and then he just kind of makes a play and he extends a drive on a 3rd and 4 because he dives for the first down and gets it, and they move the chains and they still have the football. So one of the plays I like probably the best is the under 46.5, because I do think Notre Dame will try to slow the pace down, keep it away from all those weapons on offense. But I do think that Notre Dame can make it that kind of game. They've been figuring out ways to win. They're very resilient, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again.
That's a good point on the Texas game. 7-point game, 1st and goal from the 2. You have 4 chances to get it in. Can you explain? You're the football expert. Can you explain to me why Sarkisian ran a toss sweep on 2nd down?
So I'm not that mad at him. I know that was a very, a point of contention, even with some Longhorn fans were like, why would you run the toss? He caught it 9 yards deep. And then, of course, they get the loss, which forced them to pass.
Yep.
So they're kind of stuck. They did try to run it right at him on the 1st down play, and they didn't get anything. They didn't run the ball very successfully all day long, so they were trying to do something different, like get him out in space, because their offensive line wasn't really doing much against Ohio State's defensive front. So I'm not as hard on him. I threw a ton of toss sweeps to Warwick Dunn that scored for touchdowns. I feel like it's a little bit, kind of playing the result. But I will say this, one thing that drives me nuts is when you see a 4th and short and a quarterback is in shotgun, I'm like, why would you give him 5 yards?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the equivalent. So I get the criticism, but I do think you have some of those plays you have to tip your cap to a player like Caleb Downs, who read it perfectly, shot the gap, and blew it up in the backfield, because if you could erase him or he doesn't get there that quick, I think worst case it's probably a 1 or 2 yard loss. He just made an incredible play, which is probably going to be overlooked because of the 4th down, scoop and score from Jack Sawyer. But that play from Caleb Downs was maybe just as impressive.
Well, also, you made the point. You tossed it to Warwick Dunn. That's a little bit different.
That is true. That is true. Warwick Dunn was a pretty special player. I don't know if Wisner's going to go on to have that much success, but you do make a good point.
What about team totals? You in on any of that?
So the props that I do like, I like Riley Leonard under his rushing total, which is right around 36.5, 37.5.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people are saying, he's mobile, which I even told you before. I do think he's going to have to run the football. But in college, remember, they take away the sack yardage. So that goes against your rushing total. So you could have negative rushes, which I do think Ohio State will sack Ohio State will sack Riley Leonard multiple times. So, even if he rushes for 50, 55 yards, he could easily have minus 20 in the sack category. So I like under Riley Leonard's sack total. And then the only reason I'm staying away from the team totals, I guess maybe I would go under the Notre Dame team total, because I am still worried. There's just the Ohio State. I wouldn't mess with that one. If you were going to take it, I would go over the Ohio State team total. but I don't hate the under Notre Dame team total because, again, like my script for the game, and again, I give a word of caution because I want this to unfold so that we get a close game, is that I do think Notre Dame kind of makes it ugly. And part of that being ugly is them not being able to do much offensively either.
Yeah. What do you think about 2026? Have you taken a look at that? I know BetOnline has Texas as the favorite. Then Georgia and Ohio State tied for second. Oregon, Penn State, Tennessee's in there. What do you think about next year?
So I'm kind of blown away at the enthusiasm and optimism around Texas. You mentioned them as one of the favorites. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get Arch Manning has, he's got all the physical tools and he's looked the part and he's a Manning. But has anybody noticed that not only are they starting him for the first time, he's only got 2 starts under his belt, but they lost their 2 top receivers in Matthew Golden and Isaiah Bond. They lost their tight end, Gunnar Helm. They're losing an NFL, probably first rounder in Kelvin Banks, their left tackle. They're losing Jaden Blue, one of their better running backs. Like, they are losing guys all over the field. I'm just really surprised that people are like, no big deal, Sark's going to reload, which they probably will. But for me to take them as just saying, they're going to be the national champion, I definitely wouldn't go that far. And on all of these bets, like, there's still going to be a lot of portal movement, which I'm kind of cautious on really feeling emphatic about anybody. Like, Ohio State's a good example. They're going to lose all these people, and yet they're still one of the top favorites. Who are they going to replace Will Howard with? Like, who are they going to go sign? Like, I'm still waiting for that to unfold. Georgia, what are they going to do at quarterback? Like, does Quinn Ewers end up actually coming out of the draft and deciding to take the money in college somewhere? Like, I want to see some of those moves unfold before I feel really confident. But it totally makes sense, though, because in college football, like, basically what you're looking at, those odds, are the teams with the deepest pockets that have spent the most in the NIL market. And I actually do think there's pretty good value on Tennessee there because at least we know Nico's coming back. We know they like to spend. So, like, I think Tennessee, from a value standpoint, probably would make sense. A team that already got there and got a flavor. I know it didn't go the way they wanted to, but that experience they can draw from next year to go into the playoffs. So I think from a value standpoint, I think Tennessee, like, I want to know who the quarterback's going to be and how well he's played. I think overall it was a pretty successful season for Nico.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been able to watch these 2 quarterbacks when it comes to Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. If you had to take a pick, which one would you go? Which one would you lean to, Danny?
So they are my top 2 quarterbacks, right? And I do think there's a pretty significant gap. Like, I don't, if Quinn Ewers comes out, I'm hearing from people that he's going to be a 3rd or a 4th round pick. Like, I kind of agree. I think Jackson Dart's pretty interesting, maybe as a 2nd rounder, but these are the only 2 guys I would consider in the 1st round. So they're kind of opposites because Cam Ward is basically your upside play. Like, he's got more potential I think you can tap into. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's way more elusive. He's mobile. He's kind of what the NFL is kind of gravitating towards with the type of mobile quarterback that's explosive. But his film is a little bit dicey. He makes some really boneheaded decisions trying to do too much. And then you've got Shedeur, who is probably the highest football IQ. He played a ton of football. He makes great decisions in the pocket. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. But I do think his arm is, like, adequate. I think it blows you away. I think his mobility is adequate. It's not like a plus where you're thinking, this is a plus for you. It's probably something you're going to have to coach around. And while he was able to run around some in college, I don't think he's going to be super elusive in the NFL. So given the right system, I think he could succeed. But if it was me, I would go with the upside of Cam Ward. I think there's a lot of potential of what he could be, and I do think his skill set translates really well at the next level.
Danny Cannell with us, thanks to our friends at BetOnline.
So speaking of some of those odds, FSU 100-1.
Yeah, lock it up, Don. I like the way you're thinking.
To win it all.
I like that. Yeah. All right, so
there's some value there, Danny.
There's some value, although I question the OC move just a bit. Gus Malzahn?
I think even the Florida State fan base is very split on the Gus Malzahn hire. It does make some sense from the standpoint that Mike Norvell has a prior relationship with him. Like, he cut his teeth under Gus Malzahn early in his career. So there's a trust there. And then I do actually, the quarterback that they're bringing in from Boston College, Thomas Castellanos, he's a pretty dynamic player. He's not that tall, but he can run, which is something we know Gus Malzahn wants to do. And he's a pretty good thrower. But, like, I would not go throwing your way. I was joking on the 100-1. I would not go throwing money at Florida State. But I think I think they could easily, I mean, how can you not be the most improved team in the ACC? I mean, to go from 2 wins, I think their win total will probably be 8.5, because I do think they should be able to turn this thing back around pretty quickly. The defensive coordinator hire, they brought in Tony White, the defensive coordinator from Nebraska, and one of their defensive line coaches. That one probably excites me more. Yeah, and if you've noticed anything, the trend I've noticed with a lot of these teams that have done well in the playoffs, they've led with defense. Like, the quarterback play has been a little bit spotty, so I'm actually more excited about what the defense potentially could be and be leading the way for Florida State and take some pressure off of Gus Malzahn in that offense.
Where are they from an NIL standpoint? Like, you mentioned Tennessee. We know they have the money they'll spend. Obviously, Ohio State has. Where does FSU kind of fall in the NIL game?
Well, I guarantee you, Don, they are thrilled that this new money, the TV money, is going to be piped into the program, because that's $20 million that every program is going to, be excited to be able to spend and actually control the money. Mm-hmm. From an NIL standpoint, like, they're not in the top 10. They're probably not in the top 15, but they're in the top 20, top 25, I would say, of programs and what they're willing to spend, which is one of the reasons they've looked at ways to get out of the ACC, because they've had to go to the boosters and they've had to keep asking donors for money, and they don't have the deep pockets that some of these other programs do. It's just, there's not really a billionaire sitting around like a Phil Knight or like a Mark Cuban, who helped, I think Indiana was the program he helped. Like, there's not just maybe we can get the girl from Spanx, though, Dawn. Like, maybe you could help us recruit her, Sarah Blakeney, who started Spanx. She's actually a Florida State grad. I've been trying to connect her and say she needs to come give us some money, give us some cut of check.
She just started a new shoe line, too.
I know. I saw that. I was actually showing that to my wife, the sneaker high heels. Yep. See, I'm very dialed in, Dawn.
Look
you didn't
at you,
Canel. Yes, exactly.
So
I have 3 daughters, too, so I'm always dialed in. But, like, I don't want to say it's not a struggle, but it's not a luxury. Florida State is not, they can't miss on some of these guys. And I think that's also one of the reasons that Mike Norvell is nowhere near the hot seat, because they can't afford to spend on his buyout. Like, they need to save that money to spend on players.
Good point.
There he is. He's Andy Cannell. Check out Bet Online for a myriad of college football playoff final game and player lines, plus opening odds for the 2026 college football playoff. Full house here for you, Cannell. Appreciate you hopping on, man.
Appreciate it, Danny.
You guys are awesome. Always great catching up. Have a great weekend.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Danny
Cannell. Thanks to Bet Online. All right, more 3HL when we come back. I will roll through some of these little notes from the 4 football games coming up this weekend. 615-737-1045.
What's happening, fellas? It is time to talk.
I totally just
what are you doing, dog? What's wrong with you, man?
Sorry.
Game day, fellas. Time to get in the game right now. And I need to talk to all the men out there. And I got a question for you. How things going in the bedroom, huh? Look yourself in the mirror. You know what I'm talking about. You happy? Your partner happy? You noticing some differences? Well, lack of desire, energy, performance issues. Well, did you know that half of all men will struggle with erectile dysfunction at some point in their lives? Half. But that doesn't have to be your norm. Nope. This is where Game Day Men's Health comes in. You got 2 locations you can choose from. One in Green Hills, one in Hendersonville. Listen, grab your phone, go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. At the top of the page, click Book Appointment, pull up one of the 2 locations. Name, phone number, and email address is all you need. That's it. Someone from Game Day will call you up and set your appointment. Now, in 15 minutes, you'll have your lab results back, and you know what? Yeah, testosterone check. Sexual health ready to roll. ED is a thing of the past. And receive a tailored solution for your needs. Now, if you decide to move right now, I promise you, this is what you want to do. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com and get in the game today.
ED, that's my name. Ed, if it's football time, it's scoreboard time. I love Scoreboard Bar and Grill. You will too. Where are you catching all the college championship and playoff games? Sorry, Slay Dog. Scoreboard Opry is where you need to be. Notre Dame and Ohio State battling for the national championship on Monday night. Scoreboard Opry welcomes the Nashville Bagpipe team. They'll have special Guinness features, fun prize wheel giveaways, even a halftime show featuring Nashville's best Irish step dancers. Not to be outdone, they'll have Ohio's famous Roman burgers and much more. All this Monday, and the full property will have the sound for the game. Food, beer, and Irish whiskey to celebrate the Notre Dame-Ohio State National Championship game. There's no better place to kick off the weekend than Scoreboard Bar and Grill. Catch the best live music, no cover, free parking, largest selection of bushwhackers, coldest beer, and absolutely delicious food. This Saturday, Scoreboard welcomes back Nashville Yacht Rock Band, an 8-piece tribute playing the best pop and R&B sounds of the 70s and 80s. They are only live at Scoreboard once a month, so don't miss out. Then start your Sunday fun day with delicious Bloody Marys. Then the Spasmatics live 4 until 7 o'clock. Scoreboard Bar and Grill. 3HL 1045, The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. 615-737-1045. Let's grab AJ in Nashville real quick, and then we'll get into some of these comments about the job responsibilities with the GM. Titans hiring Mike Borgonzi. Mike Borgonzi. And they signed him. 5-year deal.
Done.
They're in.
Book them, Dano.
Just for the record, that info would not have come out if they weren't like signing the papers right there.
Oh, right. For sure. AJ, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm in this building right here, and I can't wait till y'all come back to Clarksville. But I need them to just go ahead and trade with New England. Just bring Joe Milton down. Let's stop the little quarterback thing so we can really just put together a solid team with these other picks that we really need. Because I believe that by Mike being up in New England and the way how their first-string quarterback is played, they can afford to trade away Joe Milton. Come on now. I just want to hang up and listen.
Thank you, AJ. I mean, Joe Milton did get the Titans the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
He did him a favor, so I guess maybe he won a favor too. Appreciate you, Joe. Couldn't have did it without you.
What did you want from Zeph, Babsy?
I got it.
The actual statements about this GM
how
job. Who's in control? Who has all the say? Blah, blah, blah.
Right, because we're trying to figure out how they got this guy.
Yes.
And
for 5 years.
5 years, too. So you had to sell him, right?
Yes.
What you got, Zev?
So this from Jim Wyatt on TennesseeTitans.com. Brinker spelled out what he'll be looking for in a new GM. I think a general manager position is unique to their respective organizations. This particular job, what we'll be looking for is someone who has spent their career as a scout, is a top-flight, top-level evaluator who has spent the majority of their career projecting college players to the National Football League. They've had a major hand in setting the draft board and preferably a consistent winning organization, and you can see their fingerprints all over the roster. It is someone who wakes up every single day, and the only thing they think about is building a roster, evaluating players, watching tape, working with the coaching staff, and not just someone who knows how to collect talent, but someone who really understands how to build a team and how all the pieces fit together that I can work with, not only in the short term, winning today, but building for the future in the long term and understanding how these pieces fit together. If you make a decision here, how it impacts a decision down the road, and really understand the full puzzle. At the end of the day, this person is going to be all ball, all day. They're going to focus on the roster and the coaching staff, and I'll continue in my role with handling all other areas.
Thank you, Zeph Dog.
So where did the Chad Brinker has complete and full control?
So that came...
Nihill said that one.
That came a little while later, where after the Brinker quote where it says, ultimately Brinker, Callahan, and the new general manager will work together to make decisions. Burke Nihill said that Brinker will quote-unquote, break ties with respect to the 53-man roster.
So
he will be. It says he will have final authority on all football matters, including the roster.
Yep.
So I think maybe too much was made of that. He'll have final authority. He'll break ties. But it seems like that's the Oceano button when things are crazy. But at the end of the day, your GM still has control. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think he'll have a lot more say than what people were thinking. Yeah. And especially to get that guy, there had to be some negotiating between two sides. And so sometimes you go from that, because those comments were made before the GM search, to what you actually get. And this is a guy that, again, Field Yates said this was the best guy. Like, he said it Tuesday. And so a lot of people were surprised that they were able to get him. And I do love the fact that the Titans went outside the I know this guy thing.
Right. Because everybody expected it to be John Eric Sullivan, because Packers vice president of player personnel knows Brinker. That's Brinker's guy. Everybody expected that would be the move.
So they can still hire him as an assistant GM because he was not an assistant GM in Green Bay. He was a VP of player personnel. So
it would still be
he would be a step up if he came here. And then you kind of have that, hey, I have my guy, but I also have the guy in the GM spot.
Right. And so I would anticipate like all these dudes making the media rounds next week, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Now that it's all done. Again, I'm going to circle back to what Field Yates, I read this earlier in the show. This was Tuesday. He wrote, I think you would be hard-pressed to find a more qualified GM candidate right now than Mike Borgonzi. He's been involved in every facet of team building for a team that has won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years with a shot at a 4th on tap. The Chiefs have done an incredible work in the draft and nailed some key free agents and trades. The assistant GM plays a huge role in all aspects of team building.
What are you thinking, Slay? You got a funny look on your face.
Yeah,
Do you get from that Chad Brinker has complete and full control?
Yeah, if he breaking ties with what they had set up before. Because at first,
what ties is he breaking though?
With him,
like if there's
the
debate
GM
on
Brian
players.
Callahan and him being the head that's gonna make the decision. Those 3. So where's Callahan line?
So basically, it's just
there you go.
It's just a pecking order.
There you go. Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm with that. I'm with saying that.
For example, let's bring up some old Shiano. If there was a tie for Will Levis because Mike Vrabel wanted Will Levis and Rand Carthon wasn't sold at that point on Will Levis,
right?
Then Chad Brinker would make the decision.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going yay on Levis or nay on Levis.
Yeah. But in that situation, it was Vrabel.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
But
so it's more of that.
Yeah. And
is how we need to look at it.
Right.
So Brinker has control and he has hand, but other people have say.
So Brinker added this at the very end.
Until they don't.
I'm going to allow our new general manager to do his job and set free agency strategy and draft strategy, build a roster, and I'll be right there with him. All egos aside, it's about what is best for the team.
Oh, that was nice.
Why do you need to be right there with him?
Well,
if that's his job, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you trusting in him, 5-year deal for him to get the job done, like, well, I don't need you over my shoulder, brother. I'm cool. I got it. Well, you brought me in for this.
Also, Burke said in his statement that that Brinker has control. So if I'm Brinker and I have control, yeah, I might listen to you, but this is on me, man.
So the only weird thing about all of this to me is what Babsy just described and what you just hit with. All right, that's cool. But all of this was decided within a year after it was already set at the beginning of that year what the delegated power was. That's all I'm saying. So it was able to change in a year and we had no idea it was changing.
Right.
Okay. That's
Do you want to know what I think?
So that's why I'm saying, like, why am I believing?
The way that it makes sense to me is that Rand Carthon was hired under similar circumstances to what they were looking for right now. And then when Vrabel left, Vrabel had control of the roster. When Vrabel left, then Rand was given control of the roster. That wasn't what he was hired to do.
Yeah, but then I hire you to come in and you say you overrule me.
That's the weird part is that Rand hired Brinker.
In a year.
And then Brinker gets control of the roster. So at that point, you can't elevate a guy to demote a guy and keep him there.
Yeah, and it's no longer us 3, me, you, and Babs working together. It's my job. It's my show.
I wonder this.
You understand what you know?
I totally.
But do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go.
But I do wonder this. Borgonzi coming in, coming off the assistant GM job. So he's been out watching players. Mm-hmm. He's been in person. Yep. He's been doing that. I wonder if that was something that Rand didn't feel or want to do as the GM.
Right.
And they wanted him to. And there was a divide there.
Yeah, it could have been
And maybe that's exactly why things changed in a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Borgonzi coming in now, you can set it in stone as you hire him. Look, you as the GM, we want you out there scouting, looking at players because of your background and the success that you've had doing that. You have to do that.
I'm with you.
Maybe Rand didn't.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't the ground rule for him when they promoted him.
Wasn't why he was hired.
Right. But if you're the one that is, I hire you to come in and do that, and Mayor is the one now to watch over the scouting,
God help us.
How the hell did I just hire you and all of a sudden you telling me what I'm finna do?
You're talking about Brinker overran.
Yes, that's all I'm saying.
Well, and that's probably on Amy.
Yeah. So now, all right, don't.
And once
my whole thing is, okay, don't tell me
you hire is then put over you, it's never going to work.
Right.
And so we know why Rand's gone then.
There it is.
Right?
Okay, so now walking into this new situation, don't tell me like this is what it is as a GM if this is not what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me this GM is coming in here to get the team together and he has all of the roster control.
Yeah.
And he really don't. Because if you still overseeing it, like, what are we talking about?
No, I think he does.
You're over all football operations.
But what did you say about
that's cool. All
the
right, let's
Chiefs and Veach? And
Veach doesn't have roster control.
And he's the GM for the Chiefs, which Borgonzi just came from. Borgonzi.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to have to watch The Godfather.
Years.
From doing it.
In that organization with that set up.
Right.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli. I love your idea of having him read that because I'm curious. Keep that stuff somewhere, Zeph, because I'm curious to know what they end up saying next week.
Mm-hmm. Like, does it change?
Is it different?
That's all I want to know.
Did all of us read too much into those words?
I don't think we read enough into it, but in the beginning.
I think Brinker has hand, man.
I don't think we read enough into it in the beginning.
I agree with you.
Is this going to work?
No.
Why? Because of what you just said.
It's too many hands. Like, if you don't trust me to do the job.
Hands.
Come on, man. You trust me to do this, let me do this.
Is it Game of Thrones?
Is Callahan where is Callahan now? Is he just all coaching?
Yes.
Just let me know what you got. Go coach. All right, cool.
Callahan's got to win. That's where he is.
Yes.
Yeah, no question.
That's where he is.
Yeah, all right. But he wasn't brought in under the same either.
He's got way too much
to do.
Growing as a head coach to do to have to worry about any of that.
I think it should have been set up like that for him to come in.
What I would want Callahan to do is evaluate these two quarterbacks.
Yes.
And tell me what do they do well, what do they don't, how do they fit in your system?
He's in charge of developing these guys.
Yep, because it's going to be on him.
And do they fit your system?
Yep.
And what is your system?
Right.
And do you think beyond Callahan's system?
And are you good with changing it a little bit if there is a quarterback that has the potential to be?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, are you also playing chess? Like, thinking about, maybe this guy doesn't fit perfectly into Callahan's system, but this guy can be great down the road, and then we'll find a coach that fits him if it doesn't work out with Callahan. There's so many.
So what if it went 2 years and it didn't work? And it didn't work next year. I'm just saying.
No, it doesn't work next year.
It doesn't work. The Browns and Jets.
So you get rid of Callahan. And if it don't work, he got to be the first to go.
Let's say
you hire your coach
that fits Cam Ward, for example,
or that fits what Borgonzi wants to do because he's building. Right?
You do your hands every time.
You got to.
I feel like Borgonzi would not take this job if he didn't feel comfortable with what was in place already.
Agreed.
Because he didn't have to.
JD and
he could have waited and gotten any open GM job coming up that he wanted.
No question.
He's the hottest candidate out there.
No JD question. On YouTube. It's
not even close.
No question.
And I appreciate JD's comments. But this one, he said, just let it play out. What we do is sports talk show.
Yeah, we are. We're playing it out right now.
We're playing it out.
We're just in the now.
Let me give you the positive here.
Okay.
Imagine if it all works and they find a quarterback in this draft and they hit on that quarterback and Callie's system works with it and Borgonzi finds legit players to plug in here and plug some of these holes and they all get along and they all see the game and players in a similar enough way to where it works. You're golden.
To your point, though, Babsy,
then guess who
it has
could be?
To work.
The Chiefs.
It has to work next year.
615-737-1045.
You got to get 7 games next year.
Hair Metal Henry texted me. I'm cracking up every time you say Brinker has hand. I think of George Costanza. I've got hand. That's exactly what I mean by that.
Yep.
Good job, Hair Metal. All right, more 3HL next. Talking through this new GM, Borgonzi, 3HL. So we were at the Super Bowl in L.A., and we went to the musical performance. Does that feel good to do this in New Orleans? We went to the musical performance press conference, and it was Dre and Mary J. Blige and Snoop. Eminem wasn't there, but they came out to that beat.
Oh, it was so cool.
It was so cool. I had chills in the room.
So this year it'll be Kendrick Lamar.
That's right.
That'd be dope.
It will be. Texans at Chiefs coming up this weekend. Chiefs an 8-point favorite. Last time the Texans played the Chiefs in a playoff game, Houston jumped out 24-0 in Kansas City. Do you remember that? And then Kansas City scored 28 second quarter points. They went on to win 51-31. That was Andy Reid's first Super Bowl after they got that done. Now the Chiefs chasing their fourth Super Bowl in 6 years and an unprecedented third in a row. Chiefs haven't played their main starters, Babsy, for 24 days. Do you think that matters as we go into this matchup?
Not for them, no.
For some teams, maybe. Not for them. They're too professional. They know what they're doing.
Andy Reid's got it going.
They also ran down the Texans just on Christmas Day, right?
It was the week before Christmas. 27-19, 4 weeks ago. Sixth time the Texans have played for a spot in the AFC Championship game. They are 0-5. Get ready to be 0-6, Texans. What is it about the Chiefs?
Do you know,
man?
look at.
Although Rex Ryan just said that, and then they beat the Chargers.
I know. We were talking about it, Patrick Mahomes, this morning at breakfast. We were talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Y'all's conversations, man.
I mean, we're all sports all the time. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes' playoff record.
Oh, it's incredible. In the divisional round, he's 6-0.
19-3.
Total, yeah.
The running joke is the Chiefs use black magic.
Yeah. He hasn't thrown an interception
nuts is that?
in the divisional round. He hasn't thrown an interception. He's 6-0.
Yeah, that's definitely black magic.
Chiefs have struggled to protect Mahomes at left tackle, though. They've tried a bunch of different things. So the Texans going to attack that with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, and those guys can get after the quarterback. So that is an avenue to success for the Texans. Nico Collins had 122 yards and a touchdown last week. The 122 was a playoff record for a Texans pass catcher. Everyone knows he's the target. Still gets it done. Commanders at Lions. Lions will play as the number 1 seed for the first time in franchise history. How about that? Washington cornerback Marshawn Lattimore will get opportunities against Lions wideouts Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Can the Lions' depleted defense hold up against Jaden Daniels in that Washington offense? It's a big line, 9.5. Washington's
huge line.
Statistically bad against the run. Detroit getting David Montgomery back, which has blown Zeph's mind. Zeph keeps talking about how is he back this fast.
He tore his MCL in week 15. How is he about to play a football game in the playoffs?
David Montgomery back to go along with Jahmyr Gibbs, who has 6 touchdowns in his last 3 games. Jahmyr Gibbs. Washington coming off its first playoff win in 19 years, shooting for his first NFC Championship game since 1991. They did win the Super Bowl that year. The Commanders have won 5 straight games, all coming on the last play of the game. How about that? That's playing with fire right there.
That's cardiac cat kind of thing.
Yeah. High wire without a net. Lions lead the NFL in scoring, 33.2 points per game. Rams at Eagles. Eagles by 5.5. In the matchup earlier this year, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley ran for 255 against the Rams as Philly won 37-20 in L.A. He had second half touchdown runs of 70 and 72 yards. Barkley, 9th running back in NFL history to go over 2,000 yards rushing. Rams D is just 22nd in the NFL against the run. Rams D line, though, good at getting after the quarterback. They sacked Sam Darnold 9 times. 9. Ravens at Bills. Closes it all out. Sunday, Bloody Sunday, at 5:30 on CBS. Obviously, the battle between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen in Buffalo. 2 leading MVP candidates. Does it come down to who has the ball last? I mean, it typically does when Josh Allen plays in these matchups against Patrick Mahomes or Lamar, but the temp is expected, Dawn, to dip below 10 degrees during the game.
Nope.
You could take your little thermometer out there. Shoot that laser all over the field. It probably would. Ravens coach John Harbaugh said, quote, I can just kind of picture John Facenda coming down from the heavens and narrating the preview of this game. John Facenda, the voice of NFL films for years and years and years and years. I know if you don't know the name, you know this, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. That was him. Last time Baltimore played in the playoffs in Buffalo, 17-3 loss in the divisional round, and Lamar Jackson threw a 101-yard interception return for a touchdown to seal it. Lamar asked if that sticks with him. His answer, hell yes. That's all I'm going to say about it. Derrick Henry had his most productive game of the season against Buffalo in September, 199 yards rushing, including an 87-yard touchdown run on play number 1. Baltimore won that game 35-10. Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers. I mean, John Harbaugh is saying he could play. He didn't practice today. My guess is no, but we'll see. Ravens completely changed defensively when they put Kyle Hamilton out there at safety. Bills defensive tackle Daquan Jones, who used to play for the Titans, said about the matchup, quote, "It's going to be a bloodbath," end quote. Looking forward to these games coming up this weekend. We got college basketball on Saturday as well. In the SEC, you've got number 4 Alabama at number 8 Kentucky. Kentucky a 2.5-point favorite. I haven't seen point spreads for the rest of these. Number 1 Auburn, Babsy at 23 Georgia. Y'all don't like each other in football. I know that. What about basketball?
Nope, we just don't like each other.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Remember Auburn and Georgia for a stretch there had these incredible 33, 32 games in football all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like every year.
And usually, well, at least when I was there, it was always the road team.
Road team. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy. Somebody just asked, by the way, are you guys working on Monday or is it a day off? We will, I think all 3 be here, right?
Yeah. We'll all be
I know
here.
some people are taking off, but 3HL will be here.
Yep. Martin Luther the King Day.
Yes.
Auburn, a 6.5-point favorite at Georgia. Belmont plays at Evansville. They're a 5.5-point favorite. I'm just kind of going through these point spreads. I think the next game up is Tennessee. Tennessee at Vandy. What did you say the line was?
6.5.
It is 6.5. Tennessee favored by 6.5 in Nashville. Interesting matchup there because Vanderbilt's going to throw a lot of. They're going to rotate players, and Tennessee really doesn't. So.
And they got a lot of guards.
Yep, and Zakai Ziegler's going to play 38 minutes probably, and we'll have to see how that all plays itself out.
Tennessee hoping for a big day from some of their bigs, Cade Phillips.
Felix.
Felix.
Well, can Chaz Lanier get going?
Yeah, he's
25 points total in the last 3 games.
What was he, 1 for 11 at one point in that game against Georgia earlier this week?
Yep. Texas at number 5, Florida. Florida favored by 10.5 in that one. South Carolina at Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 7.5. Let's see. Scrolling. Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Egg Bowl. Mississippi State favored by 5.5 over Ole Miss at home. Arkansas. Coach Cal looking for his first SEC win at Arkansas.
How crazy is that?
They're 0-4. 5.5-point underdogs at Missouri, who just took out Florida in Gainesville. MTSU and Western Kentucky going at it over there in the Borough. 100 Miles of Hate. Middle Tennessee, a 3.5-point favorite over Western. And the nightcap. There it is. LSU at number 11, Texas A&M. Texas A&M favored by 9.5. What do you got? Oh, I thought Zeph had something.
He does. Borgonzi
Borgonzi
was officially hired by the Titans, a 5-year deal, and Chad Brinker has a statement. Jim Wyatt put it out there.
During Mike's 16 years in the league, he has been a key part of transforming the Chiefs from a 2-win team to a 3-time Super Bowl champion. During our meetings, he articulated a clear plan to build a championship standard in Nashville through consistency, discipline, and hard work. I've admired him for many years, and I'm thrilled to add him to the team as our general manager.
There you go.
Enlightening.
Oh, here's some more.
What do you want him to say?
Thanks, Brinker.
What do you want him to say?
Well, no, here's some more lightning part.
Okay.
He's literally thought through everything you could possibly think through as a general manager. He's mapped out the entire plan from everything he believes in, which is the same thing we believe in here, the draft, develop, and retain model. From that to everything about being a general manager, in particular when it comes to evaluation from pro to college, the calendar, what it looks like, the meetings, to his plan on working with the coaching staff, to the player development side of it, player engagement, sports medicine. He literally had a plan for everything. And then he's also been at a place that's been able to execute that plan at a high level.
Okay. A little bit better.
I'm anxious to hear what all is said next week. And
let's see. It won't be Monday. Monday is a national holiday, right?
Yeah, they still do stuff. They'll probably wait.
Tuesday.
Jim White's article
Wednesday.
said sometime early next week.
I'm going Tuesday or Wednesday. Good.
Going to be a fun
I want to
week.
hear from everybody.
No question about it.
Step up to the mic.
Hope you guys have a great weekend, man. It's been a fun week. We appreciate all the participation. Thank you very much for all that you guys do to help us propel this thing we call 3HL. We certainly appreciate you including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take it lightly. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you unless...
can I give a shout out?
I think that's the goal now with this. Shout outs.
Okay.
Presented by your mom and them.
Yes, my shout out goes to our listener, Ellen, who is the best. Lady Vol Titan sent me a nice little Auburn Yeti that says Babsy across the bottom of it. Custom made. It's so cute.
By the way, Chaz Lanier,
Thanks, Ellen.
8 for his last 43 from the floor in the last 3 games. From 3-point range, 4 for 24. Got to get it going in Nashville. And that's a tough place to shoot if you're not used to it. Although he is from Nashville, Innsworth.
There you go.
All right, love y'all.
Have a great weekend. Be safe.
We'll be here Monday.
See ya.